Live.
Welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football TV. This is the biggest crowd we've had on the pod. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Good man. There's
You
more
know,
people in this pod than there were at Etihad.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. That
All right.
crowd rush begs to differ.
oh
All
man,
right.
that's funny. So
Okay.
thank you again to everybody that's out there rocking with us, whether it's live right now or whether you're going to see this at a later date. But it is unfortunately the end of the Premier League season. All the matches were played yesterday, Sunday, final day. All of our teams won, which is good. Just wanted to start off by saying congratulations to Manchester City for another year of winning the league.
Champions again. Ole,
4 in a
ole.
row. First time it's been done in the Premier League. They broke the 3 in a row record set by St. Alex Ferguson or Sir Alex Ferguson. Sorry.
Not
So I know
saying-
some of these. So I know some of the guys in this chat will say that the championship is back in Manchester. They have no shame. But the title is blue this year, is baby blue. And just want to say again, Solo and Zion, welcome back. Carrie, welcome back. Nice to have all of y'all on here. But yeah, man, let's just start with City. Shout out Phil Foden. I've been talking about that guy for probably the last 2-3 years. Seriously, like I think the guy is going to be. He's well on his way to start getting those talks of, possible Ballon d'Or winner in the future. He's been on the City team that's been able to just dominate, the league for the last 3-4 years, and they finally got their Champions League last year as well. So he has to start getting the recognition. I mean, when you talk about the best in the world, he's up there with Vinny. He's up there with Mbappe. He's up there with Haaland. Obviously, they're on the same team. So when we're looking at this new crop of young guys, he's definitely one we need to start talking about more, I feel like. But yeah, congrats to City. Just pass it over to Zion or Solo, whoever wants to go first. I guess you guys can talk about, the full season, winning, what you're looking forward to for next year. And I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the allegations just a little bit, because that 115 number is crazy. But for now, just congrats to you boys and take it from here.
Yeah, man. I mean, people ask me too, how does it feel to have won 4 of these? And I'm like, man, it's never been done before, so I don't know how to feel. I'm like, this is a different. We're in uncharted territory as a club, and the thing is, at the end of the day, from this point onwards, we're competing with ourselves. Really, we'll be our worst enemy. Will be our best reason to keep going. Because when you look at the club itself over the past year, the institutions that have been built, the foundational like sets of principles and values and beliefs, all that was set has been put into the club and has stayed fully fully a part of the club and institutions. Like, we've won the past 3 Premier Leagues, not just at the Premier League level, but we've also won it at the U18 and the U20. So this is through and through. And so the thing is, whatever ends up happening, whatever the things that have been built will stay built, and we're gonna keep going at the same pace, because I'm telling you right now, our academy can win a Premier League. I'm telling you right now that
All right, go ahead and mute him. Sorry,
Your 15 seconds is coming to an end.
yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy.
Talk about
I'm
foundation.
I'm joking, but I'm just saying that, like, watching this club over the past like 10 years, like, because thing is, like, I would say I started supporting in 2010, and so when we started, I had no idea what anything was going on. All I saw was just like, well, okay, I want to get into this sport, and I'm just gonna like pick a team based off of like the World Cup. Saw Yaya Toure, followed through to that, and then I just saw like, whoa, we just won our first one. And Sir Alex Ferguson said, this guy that's like supposed to be the greatest of all time said we would never win one again. I'm like, boom, now it's 6. So what do you want to say? Like, at the end of the day, we're here. We're going to stay. We're going to keep going into the next years after that, regardless of whatever happens. The institution is built. We just got to maintain it. The club is set.
Okay.
Game, set, match. Yeah, I just want to start this conversation by saying Thank you, Solo. Thank you for having me on the show. I want to give a shout out to Gabriel. I'm gonna say this honestly to Arsenal fans. You guys fought well this season. I think, if it wasn't for you coming to Man City and dropping your draws, shout out Fruit of the Loom. I mean, taking the draw, that was corny. But anyways, but for real. Arsenal played hard this season. I'm gonna talk shit a lot of this show, but really there was a lot of heart over there. You guys really played well. Like it was fun to watch the games every weekend and just, see a team being built. You guys really built a team out over there. So congrats, but you're losers. And now to the winners. So all I gotta say is, man, it's been so tough, supporting this team for the last 12 years. It's really, I came right after we won the Premier League. I'm a huge Balotelli fan, but just this last season, when I saw, we lost Gundo last year, we lost Riyad Mahrez, we lost Laporte, which no one really cared about. But we lost some key. You could see in the beginning of the season, the loss of Gundo kind of affected our play in the midfield. And we lost KDB at the beginning of the season. And, the media was saying all this stuff about when KDB came back, he had all these stats. If you watched the game, he was a step behind for real, like really Foden was needed. Foden stepped up. I'm so happy to have a young baller to support. It's crazy. We put on the game. The second minute Foden scores. That was like a joke. I think someone tweeted as a joke. Notification Foden in the second minute. He does it, and it was an amazing goal. It was a typical Foden goal. So, I'll say it was a great season. I'm happy to be here, 4th in a row. Don't kill me. I'm good. I'm good on Premier League titles. Like I kind of want to just keep winning Champions League. Right now, my rival is Real Madrid. I hate Real Madrid.
Max, like, coming for that crown.
You get Mbappe next year. Not to say I'm done with the league, but if Arsenal wins next year, hey, props to you guys. But right now, like I'm laser focused on Champions League. We've been here, done it. It was exciting to see. That game was exciting. Kudus got that beautiful goal.
Unbelievable. And he's a baller. And
I beef with Ghana because I'm Nigerian. I beef with Ghana a little bit more after that goal. But it was amazing. And then there was the Souček handball goal. Man, the whole pub went crazy when that went in. Because every time West Ham did something amazing or Arsenal did something good on the other screen, everyone would cheer because everyone hated us, Yeah. I ain't going to allude to it, but there were probably 7 City fans at the pub. There weren't.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Nah, I got a picture.
They had to go to all 4 corners of the earth.
I can put up the picture. Nah, we took a little pic and they were like, yeah, we really need to start getting together and stuff.
Listen, check it out. So my chapter, the city, Capital City Blues, they're looking for people to open up more chapters other places. So I'm saying there's a chapter based structure for the fandom. It's crazy. Every city got a fan club.
Yeah, that's how I got the pyramid scheme. But it was nice to see us and our 7 fans celebrate the win. We did the Raji's on fire chant. That's a stolen chant. But it was fun. It was like, I walked around the whole city, wearing my kit, loud and proud. And of course, no one heard me because no one cared about Manchester City. But I had personally a good time. I took pride. I was posting on the gram, getting beat up in the group chat, 115 charges. But I'm really excited. I'm gonna ride this wave. We're gonna smash up them Manchester United niggas on Saturday, 10 o'clock at the FA Cup. But let me, I'm gonna address. I've been talking. Let me address the charges. I've looked up the charges, bro. And I'm going to say this. I think Manchester City did some finessing accounting. And I don't think it was necessarily cheating, but they were being creative. And they got caught being creative.
Stop it.
They got caught being creative.
Stop it.
They got
115
caught being
times.
creative. They got caught being creative. You look at the Chargers, it's
No,
like
most of the
okay,
charges are just not being cooperative. So it's
Yeah,
really
yeah. And then
there's like
there's-
two
there's a-
charges that the whole case is.
Yeah, there's a
really-
couple of charges.
We
of
just
like,
we just saw the number one golfer in the world get arrested for not being cooperative. So what are we saying?
All right.
What are we
Facts.
saying?
But
that don't work the
but-
same at the
but,
corporate level.
but you know,
That's
one argument I hear a lot is you wouldn't be where you are without those charges. And if we look at it, we didn't abnormally, besides like really the Grealish spend, we really didn't abnormally spend compared to these other money pockets, money trees, Chelsea motherfuckers out there. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
I'm
Whoa.
sorry you caught us straight, but y'all niggas
Where's
Whoa,
the
whoa.
money coming
Whoa.
from? You got no fans.
running up the
Chelsea
check,
in the same boat.
Whoa.
selling
Chelsea been in
hotels.
the same
But
boat.
what I'm saying is, yes, you know, some of those players during the time of the charges, but we wouldn't be where we. If you put any other manager with the same team, they wouldn't be here. It's Pep. It's Pep in the city infrastructure. It's past money. You look at the ball we.
What does that have to do with the charges though? These charges are not just being creative, bro.
I swear one of those
It's not
charges has
just
to do with
creative.
Rodri.
Yeah, this
Correct.
isn't. These
But
aren't.
anyone could get Roger. Was he really that nigga?
It's
Nah,
not
but
a.
y'all did-
It's
I
not.
mean, y'all
about
did
that.
something.
Yeah.
It was him and
there was-
Partey.
No, he was undervalued. He was at Atletico doing the same thing. But the thing was,
Partey was
that's
rated
somebody
higher
like,
than him.
oh yeah, no, there was a big focus. The thing is, they put more. Look at our squad size compared to y'all, right? Most Man City squads are 23. They're the smallest squad size. But the thing is, they spend a lot of money on weekly wages to get the quality targets of people instead of focusing too much on transfer business. It's just like that. Transfer money is not going to help with nothing with getting a player to actually care about their own funds. And so it works, and it's effective. The problem was it was set and during at a time when you look at the clubs that are really opposed to it versus those that are not, you see a difference in just like, yeah, I would also feel threatened if I was Liverpool or United, and I see a structure of like, oh, a fully built, properly designed
Institution.
that will win, an institution that will win left and right. My first thought is, yoink. Like that's the first thought. And you saw what United did. Like literally, even at that point, what did Sir Alex Ferguson say on his final day? He said he wanted to get Pep Guardiola because he said Pep Guardiola is the main one. He's wherever he goes, he'll win everything. And he couldn't get him, and y'all got David Moyes. And it shows on the final day that we're playing against David Moyes, the first United coach after Sir Alex Ferguson. But this is how that game was gonna go. Because this is like he was never that guy. And Alex Ferguson knew that. And now we're here 10 years later, and United's at 8th place. And City's
Wait, who wasn't that guy?
David Moyes or any of the coaches really that followed.
Yeah, well, David Moyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. United keeps getting brought up. I don't understand. you guys
Yeah,
haven't won 13.
We're not in your charges.
You guys were winning those titles before.
You haven't won 14.
You guys were winning those titles before they had FFP, right?
What? Look how much we were spending. We were spending 20 million, and you guys.
It's a different world
Inflation
now.
means nothing now.
Money was
Come
money
on,
was
bro.
money
20
was
million in
different.
92 is like 100 million today. And
Yeah, it was different back then.
Come
So-
on.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay.
Sir Alex Ferguson has the most expensive squad when you account for inflation. 1.8 billion spent in 10 years. Like, bro, like
I mean,
money
13
always
Premier League
won.
titles.
And
13 Premier League titles.
before the
1.3
charges,
billion spent. Divide that by 13.
before
Yeah,
how much
it's
that's how
a
much
great
it costs.
return. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Money made titles. And
business.
yeah, so anytime you see money coming from somewhere else that's not from your place, you're gonna come at it different.
Nah, I mean everyone just but you know what it is. I think it's just the English people obviously feel threatened of these foreigners. This is my opinion.
talk that
So
talk.
so they ask, of course, where is it coming from? We have to know where it's coming from.
Here's
Look,
my thing.
look what they did to Roman. Roman tap danced a little bit. He was just in a picture with someone.
Yeah.
They said, "Get him
Well,
out of here."
when it was Roman Abramovich, most of the English like people didn't care that much. But it was when it was Sheikh Ban Ali.
They took our team away from us. What do you mean they didn't
Solo,
care?
don't do that.
No,
They
no,
were trying to
no,
get
no.
him
But
out of
that's
there.
come on. That was done. That was done. So if you listen, if UAE and America got or any of these other countries got into a war, that's done. Like that owner is out of there immediately. There's no question about that. I'm saying during his time,
But that's the thing.
how
This
he's
wasn't
remembered isn't remembered or viewed in the same way that these guys are.
Roman.
They really do.
So Roman didn't have to sell his other team because he owns I
Yeah,
can't
bro.
remember
But Britain is like it's like Super West, bro. It's not the
No,
same. as
I
other
agree. I'm just
countries.
saying he got, you know, the worst of the worst. He got the worst of the worst, and we're still rebuilding. But you know, I hear what you're saying.
I want to go back to the Chargers because I want everyone's opinion honestly on this. So if we beat the case, and me saying beat the case is okay.
Cases.
All right. So I wish I could bring up the list. A bunch of them
Cases
are like
ongoing.
multiple small infringements. But anyways, if we do beat the case and we have to pay like a $500 million fine and we can't transfer for 2-3 seasons or whatever, and maybe we lose points, let's say we don't lose points and it's just fines and stuff that stops us from, you know, bringing in new transfers. Is that sufficient?
No. I think because it's more than 100, it's 100
I think
plus.
115 is just such a
See,
it's
Bro,
really
we just saw
ridiculous.
we saw Nottingham Forest this year deducted points twice.
We need to
And
strip
they didn't
title.
have
Yeah,
115.
but bro, like, but the thing was with Nottingham Forest and Everton's case, those were cut and dry. They were just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's what this is.
We need to strip you guys of
There
title.
needs to
Nah.
there needs to be
Yeah.
honest.
No.
See-
This is hold on. This is sporting doping.
Honestly, though.
This is what this is. This is
Yeah.
doping.
We did
at
something
its
before
finest.
it was illegal.
I'm sorry.
We did something before it was necessarily illegal. And that's not me saying it's necessarily illegal.
It's illegal now. It's
Yeah,
illegal
right.
now.
No, it wasn't.
see,
All they
See,
did
this
was
is how
they
I
took
feel
advantage of the
about it.
same system that United was benefiting off of and Liverpool benefiting off of. Well, not as much Liverpool, but United
Nah,
was
man.
benefiting off of.
This is
Stop.
different.
And tried
This
to
This
is
is
justify
different.
But-
The
but
rules are
let's-
clear cut.
Let's take the Chargers away. Do you not think the last 4 years Manchester City has been playing in its own way? I understand it could be something for it. Manchester City has been playing beautiful, the best football in the
no,
world.
no.
yeah.
This is what I will always say.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take away the fact that we saw all you guys win these trophies. Nobody's going to take away that. Whatever we do, the charges come down. They take away your trophies. We all saw it. We all saw City win it.
Because
that year.
115 Chargers got nothing to do with
players.
Arsenal dropping their draws 2-0 at Aston Villa. So that shit happened, bro. I got to do with Chargers.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
anyway, hey, I agree, man.
That's
I agree.
hostile.
It has
Yo, I-
nothing to do with it. But
but real
this is
quick,
what I would say, though. This is what I would say. 115.
Mhm.
If none of it sticks, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
That is the only issue with me. I don't want them to take away your trophies. We saw that happen. It's like going and taking Marion Jones's medals. Yeah, she doped. We got it, but who are we gonna give it to now? It's already happened. It's past.
Second
But
place.
There's nothing you can do about that.
You realize
We saw it happen.
115
Happened.
is a buzz number.
Yeah, but 115. Come on, we
They
got
did
to
it
see
for
some
reaction.
charges. It's
Okay,
crazy
but
to get off.
It's at least 50 plus.
It's
That-
like-
that's like
well, okay,
more-
just to make it clear too, Chelsea has 50 plus FFP charges, but again,
Oh,
the
no,
coverage,
we don't.
the coverage
No,
is
we don't.
different because of
Y'all
the
point
different.
finger,
what
man.
is-
Y'all-
Y'all bitches.
Do
I'm
y'all
just
remember we
saying.
had a transfer ban when Lampard
Yes.
came in? Yeah, we've had our share. It's
had a
time
share,
for
but
you
it
to
doesn't-
serve your time too, though.
But the thing is, I'm not mad at that. But what I'm saying is that like how it's covered, how it's talked about, how it's.
Hey, shout out Chaser Flames. I've been cracking up, man.
He said he looking up.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
nah, bro, you're not gonna
Here's
get
my
me.
thing. I just want to say this is my the Capital City Blues fan club. This is where I go to watch the game with. You got a fan club in your city, go join it. And it's really, I mean, it's really cool. They got a lot of people.
City
that turn up,
fans,
have a
man.
good
Bro,
time.
y'all need to.
Hey,
Bro,
Yo, that look mad
I don't have beef
Photoshop.
with City,
not
man.
been
I don't
one
have
year,
beef
2
with
years.
y'all.
It's been 50, almost
It does
almost
look
50
Photoshop.
years of just of excellence, left and right.
Wait,
And
what's
whatever you're gonna say, you're gonna have a bunch of people who have fully committed themselves to that. And look,
Years of excellence. Oh my
Nigga made
God.
that on
It's
Canva.
excellence,
He
bro.
made that on
It's
Canva.
number one.
That's a third post on Etsy.
Oh man.
He said it's on Etsy.
Oh man.
Oh,
No, but
man.
for real though, like I feel like City just put their name in history. I mean, what can you say, really? I mean, the standards, they've upped the standards. I don't understand people talking about, oh, it's turning into a family league. Please stop it. We saw the 90s, it happened. United was winning every other one. It just wasn't 4 in a row. So it's an issue. The levels are up. If you want to do it, you have to go through City. That's what it is. Like, I don't.
Bro, in a year that Aston Villa gets into the Champions League, we're gonna say that the league isn't competitive. In a year that
Yeah, I don't buy that.
it was a 3-horse title race up until 2 weeks ago, off of one, or not 2 weeks, 2 or 3
Like
weeks ago.
3,
The Aston Villa,
3,
I would think. Yeah, the Aston Villa loss, I think, was when things swung fully. But up until
Yeah.
that point, it was an amazing
Yeah,
title.
everybody just hates that it's the richest club. That's all. That's all it is. I mean, if it
We're
was
the
anybody
richest
else,
club?
it would be a whole
Chelsea
thing.
is definitely richer than us. Am I tripping?
Nah, you guys try to hide your riches like you don't
No,
really have.
you
You don't
guys-
really
you
have
guys-
it.
Y'all have unlimited
Y'all
money.
got it more than
Yeah,
all
you
of
guys
us.
have-
unlimited
have
money. They have
unlimited money,
unlimited
bro.
money.
United is on the stock market. What are we talking about?
Oh
You
no,
literally buy United
Come
stock.
Come on, man.
No, we're
United's
broke.
roof is
Nasdaq
leaking.
has-
Look at our
Chelsea
stadium.
bought
Hold on.
Caicedo for 100 mil, and no one's talking about that.
You guys can buy 2 of them.
But we didn't.
You didn't need him. You didn't need to.
We
You guys,
never
you guys
did.
are not fooling anybody with this. Oh, we
You know-
just have good accounting gimmick. Like we all know, y'all got the money. Y'all just don't be showing it because y'all know once you fully show it, like PSG, they're coming for you. I mean, they're
Yeah.
already coming for you. If nothing sticks, the Premier League is rigged. I mean, 115. Give me at least 10.
The head
10.
of the Premier.
I mean,
the
10
head-
should be enough for relegation, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, just to take a pause between our 2 wallpapers, I count. You know, that's like
Wow.
50
This is
something.
the whole of Cleveland, guys.
Yeah.
This is the whole of Cleveland. These are all the City fans. Yo,
That's a
That's
crowd
how
that's
it
in the
goes.
stadium.
We out there.
We out there.
oh
There's
my
10
God.
people in that photo.
Look
Nah.
like
Total.
Oscar celebration.
Total.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
I don't
hilarious.
see y'all with your fan clubs.
Where's your
Hey, man.
I go.
United.
Next and go on Sunday.
You already know, man.
shout out? Shout out, fan
Yeah.
clubs.
The house roll.
Not
Once
yet.
again, shout out fan club, shout out City again for getting it done. It was a good year, and you're right. I mean, up until maybe a few months ago, it was a 3-legged race. And Villa, shout out to Villa. I know we haven't really spoken too much about them, but shout out Unai Emery and that Villa team, because what Unai was able to do this year, bring them to top 4. I mean, they were essentially top 4 all year, you know. And I know Salam likes to call some of these teams like hipster, but Unai Emery has proven that he can do it in any league, in any facet. He's just great. And you know, his stint at Arsenal probably wasn't what Arsenal fans wanted it to be, but when you look at what he's been able to do since then, we kind of have to. I mean, when we look at the league now, seeing that they're going to get money to spend, like Villa's going to get money to spend. They're already talking about who they're going to get this summer, and Ross Barkley, cool. I mean, that's the only thing we've seen. But if Villa is able to get some real killers, they're going to be scary. Like they're going to be very, very scary for the league. And so, shout out to them. But I kind of want to move on to Arsenal now, who for the second year in a row has finished just below City on the table. For most of the year, they were competing. And like I said last week, like I've said before, I truly believe Arsenal was the best complete club this year, but unfortunately they fell short. So I'm just shoot over to Gabriel. Kind of same thing for the City fans. Like how was we know everyone won here on the final day, but how was the week leading up to this match? I know you've been calling all of your Avengers for the last month or so now, but none of them were able to beat Thanos.
They didn't answer.
Thanos.
Nobody was able to beat Thanos.
I mean, I really don't have much to say. Like I've been saying, we almost went perfect this whole year, 16-1-1. This was the first season in 6 seasons where City hasn't dropped points in their last 6 games. I also saw a stat like that. So, I mean, it just comes down to fine margins, and I'm going to make a mistake. I said Fulham did the double over us. They just it was only Villa that did the double over us. And at this point, it's like, all right, we just can't let any teams do the double over us anymore. At this point, like that just can't happen. We have to win at home every time, or as much as we possibly can, which pretty much at this point means to be every time because that's what City's doing. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, they got the last Infinity Stone, as you can say, if you really want to say that. Like they got the last one, great. But we just run it back next year. That's honestly how I feel, and we're only going to get better too. Like if you want to say, it's tough to say that this season. Like I just look at it as progress. Like we did better, honestly, because we didn't win. So do I still look at this season as a failure? Yes, I do. But at the same time, it's hard to not look at it like, oh, it's not progress, because I mean, we're pretty much perfect from this year on. So I really don't know what you want me to say. Like we're pretty much perfect. So if that's what happens, and if because one team, hold on, if one team did the double over us, and that's why we don't win a title, then fine. Like defensively, we're the best team. Like we scored 91 goals. I really don't know. Like I don't know what you want me else to say. Like I really don't.
If you could change anything this season, or go back to a result and change it, or act. Actually, let me just ask what I want to ask. Would you change getting a draw at City?
I mean, always, but no, I don't regret getting a draw at City, and I don't like. Honestly, I don't like the Rodri comment because he came to Arsenal and sat down. Like, what do you mean? We both played 6 CDMs or 2 CDMs on the field with 4 center backs. We all did that both games. So it's like this comment of, oh, they just sat back and try to win or try to draw. Like, I don't believe that at all. It's just a tactical. Honestly, it's all tactical. We have to match what you guys are doing. Honestly, yes, you guys are a great team as well. Duh. So why would we go in there blindsided just trying to run at y'all like every other team? No, we have to play it smart. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't take that back. I would take back, honestly, an Aston Villa game because I feel like, once again, Zinni shouldn't have been playing. That's just how I feel. But I'm not going to put it all on him. Like, obviously, it's not all on him, but there are more factors to it. But, I mean, there are a couple experiments that didn't work, you know. I think Kai Havertz should have gone to this center forward role a lot quicker. He did better there. Jesus should have sat down earlier. And, you know, we just have to make some moves in the summer. But in the summer, we're getting a striker. I know that for sure. We're getting a midfielder. I know that for sure. And they're looking at getting a left back. And Timber's coming back. And we're in Champions League again. This team is only going to get more experience, and the more players that we have, we're only going to get better. So, yes, unfortunately, we came up short. But, I mean, if we come up short and almost go perfect, like, I mean, all right, that is a game of margins, and now in these fine margins, we can't afford to maybe draw or lose that game anymore. We can't draw Fulhams and lose to Fulhams. Like that's unacceptable at this point. So it is what it is, and hey, we move. But we set a lot of club records this year, and I'm happy, like, for my boys. Like we set a lot of club records, which is dope, but no, it's not good enough to get silverware. And
sounds like a bunch of participation trophy talk.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
The club record, most points ever in the Premier League.
We set like 6 club records for just different stats of things that we've done. But no, to me, this season is still a failure. Like, we didn't come away with any trophies to me. So I still feel like we failed. And if we don't want to fail, we have to start making better decisions as an entire club. That's
I think you have bigger fish to fry.
All I'm gonna say is this: I've been saying this since October. Y'all was not gonna win nothing. this season. I put it in writing. I put
Okay,
it in
but y'all
but hear me out. Hear me out why I say this, because I want to elaborate. To me, your team is good, but it looks like a watered down version of City at times. And you don't have the world-class players to do the heavy lifting in the tight spaces for you to win the big games. That's why I always say you don't have world-class players. You gave away one of your good pieces in Xhaka. Well, I don't know if he left or whatever it was, but he did so much for your team in certain spots when the game got tight and he had that poise, and you swapped him with Declan Rice. I think Rice is a good player, but I don't think he's like that player to get you over the hump. He's a vanilla player, man. He's a solid player. That's what he is.
Hold on.
I
But-
disagree.
Are we comparing Declan Rice
Listen,
to Xhaka right now?
this is no. Hear what I'm saying. Listen to the full
Not a
context.
crazy take.
Listen to the full context of it.
Okay.
The way the game goes now is all about systems, right? It's systems and not individual talent. Individual talent is probably about 10% is what you need to get you over the hump. But as far as from a system standpoint, Xhaka is going to get stuck in certain places where Declan Rice is not going to get stuck in. And it ultimately elevates the rest of players on your team to raise their game. That's what I'm going to say there. And then two, the absence of a number 9 was very, very glaring for you guys because Trossard
I've been
emerged.
saying that.
Trossard emerged to be that player on the left side, which I was calling for a long time. I watch a lot of your games. He's a very good player, but
For sure.
there's no link up with your 7, 11, and 10 play because Odegaard goes missing when the game gets sticky. So somebody has to do the heavy lifting on your team, and I promise you, Xhaka did so much for you guys' team in those moments that you guys missed him when he left. And not having Partey was also a big loss for you guys too. But besides that, you have a good team.
I don't like these Declan Rice allegations though, because you're bugging about that. This is one thing. Yes, I agree. Xhaka did give us a different element to this team, but then also Declan Rice does all of our dirty work, so we don't need two guys to sit. That's the elevation of our team. And honestly, I don't think Declan Rice is going to play this 8 role much longer. I think he had to do it because we didn't have another a guy to really just, I mean, we had other players to sit, but Partey wasn't ready, so Partey couldn't just sit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I honestly think that Declan Rice will go to the 6th row, and then we're going to bring in another midfielder like Bruno G, Douglas Luiz. I've been hearing a couple of names, whatever the case may be. And honestly, I think Bruno would be a great fit for our team, and Declan Rice can just do all of our dirty work, pretty much what Xhaka did. But he wasn't in a Xhaka role for the last half of the season because we had to move Kai Havertz out because the Kai Havertz experience didn't work. We wanted Kai Havertz to be our Xhaka, and it did not work at all. So we had to move him to center forward. And I mean, I agree. We missed Partey. Partey gave us 6 great games, though, so I can't really be mad. But
I was worried today, and I thought when he came back, you guys looked like a really good team. You guys, you guys played so different.
And we would have honestly, we would have been so much better with him, but he's just so injury prone, and that's why I'm kind of over it. But Partey adds something to our midfield that no other midfielder can add, and we missed that all season. Like, we had you for less than 20 games. Like, we just can't afford to employ players like that for the trajectory that we're trying to go on that much money. Like,
Hey, Gabriel,
we just can't do that anymore.
Were you not proud of the Community Shield?
You said what?
Were you not proud of the Community Shield? You guys won the trophy this because y'all were talking. They were talking crazy to me when you guys won this in penalties. But go on, my bad.
I just want to say I don't think Arsenal's problem is the midfield. I think it's the striker. But I
think it is too.
Because like when Gabriel, like the thing about Jesus is he scored the game-winning goal we needed to get us to the 100-point season. He's that type of player where if it's a big game or whatever, if there's like a moment, he can pop out and get a goal.
Well, bro, y'all been acting like I haven't been saying this.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
All season, I've been saying, why does my striker and my center back have the same amount of goals? Why?
Yeah,
Tell me why.
Like,
we want to win titles. Why does my center back have as many goals as my starting 9? I've been saying that all season, bro.
Let me tell you.
And we're expected to win titles. I've been saying we needed a 9. And you see why I'm so happy with Kai Havertz, because oh my goodness, this guy gave me 19 GA. When has Jesus given me 19 GA, bro? I've been saying this all season, and finally, no, honestly, not even all season. I've been saying this for 4 seasons, damn near 3 seasons. I've been saying this for so long. We need a real 9, bro. And finally, we're finally about to invest in one, because if Kai Havertz can give me 19 GA, and we can get a Sesko or Victor or whoever else that can give us 19 GA, that's another 40 GA, and we're good. We'll be fine. Now we'll be on par. But all season, I think our problem is 9. And honestly, I don't want to put all this blame on him, but the left back thing was a problem half of the season. Half of the season, it was a problem. And it's not like he was putting in these performances that were so good. You know, some of them were good, but it just did not work. It didn't work, and we got exposed, bro. How many times I come on this pod and say, "Listen, bro, the only worry I have in this match is this left side." How many times both Villa games I said, Leon Bailey, put Leon Bailey anytime goal scorer, that was my lock of the week, because the left side is exposed, and it showed so many matches, bro. So many matches, and I'm just sitting here wondering, bro, why isn't Tomiyasu? Why can't Kivior figure out the Kivior thing?
Didn't Tomiyasu get the goal in this last game too?
Yeah, but it's like, why aren't we noticing these things earlier? Because you see them every day in training, bro. Every single, like, you see this guy getting beat. You're telling me Saka's not beating him in training? Stop it.
Nah.
Stop it, fam. Reece Nelson's beating this guy in training, fam. I can tell you that. I can promise you that. So it's like, why aren't you seeing these things quicker to make the adjustments? And that's honestly, I think that's the difference. Pep makes these adjustments quick. He'll try things and it may not work one game and it might look bad, but at least he'll try it to see if it works. And I feel like we aren't to that point yet to where, oh, okay, let me just switch this up real quick because it's not working. How many times have you seen this guy get beat in training, bro? How many times have you seen him get beat in the matches where we have to address a problem? We address it quick. How many times have you seen Jesus miss? How many times have you seen him dribble when he doesn't need to? Address the problem quicker. Kai Havertz we didn't need 18 games of Kai Havertz there. You know what I mean?
Tell you one thing, when
Jesus adjustments, but
when
that's
Jesus and Sterling were at City, they committed crimes against humanity for how many assists they robbed from.
It's like
how many goals
and Giroud,
I've seen them. Like, it's just been horrible. But that's
like when we had Ozil.
To Young Trinity's point, though, when you talk about when y'all were going crazy with goals and assists, it was Alexis Sanchez. It was even Lacazette. It was these players that have they have to your point, has a point for goals, but also are match winners. Like, they'll just be like, well, I'm gonna just pop out on you. And so I think Arsenal.
But this is what I'm saying too. Like when I watch Arsenal play, and this is no shade. Like, I'm just being genuine here. Like, I don't fear anyone on your team. You know what I mean? Like,
I was just about to say something similar.
There's no fear.
Like,
this is the thing. When I see Saka one-on-one with somebody, I'm not like, he might beat him or he might. There's no fear factor of, like, the only person that scares me a little bit is Trossard, because he got something about him in his game. Like, he can take his man on. He's good in small spaces. He's good at shooting. Like, he's elite if you give him his time and space. But
street baller, he's a street baller.
The rest of your team is like, you can see they're system players, and outside, when things break down.
Hey, I think their center backs scare me, bro. Their center backs.
Their center backs are good. Like, but what I'm saying,
their defense is
center backs is their attacking core it doesn't strike fear in me. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared of Chelsea's attack more than I am of yours.
Yeah,
just because of
talk about it.
Talk about it. And the type of players that they have.
Hold on.
Last episode, Gabriel said,
"Bro, listen, like Chelsea."
No. I do agree with what Kerry's saying, though. I feel like, to be honest, this is what I think. If Arsenal would have started the season with the team they ended with,
correct,
I think it might have been different. Mm-hmm. But when you're looking at guys like Martinelli to give you something like they did the previous year, and he just couldn't. It tells you exactly what he's saying. These are not guys that you're walking into the Emirates scared, like, oh, I have to go against Martinelli today. It's not like that. He wasn't that player he was last year, this year. If he was half the player he was, let's say, last season, this year, I think you would have seen some differences. Guys like, what's he called? The left side. that
Gaspi.
Kivio thing, to me, it was all right, but clearly that was definitely, like a big hole on that team.
Mhm.
Not having somebody consistently there
Mhm.
to hold that spot down, like, hey, this is my spot. You have no questions who's
Lost
playing,
Timber.
dependent,
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep, you actually lost him too. I forgot about him.
And Tomiyasu,
So-
he always gets an annual one. He always gets an
Hey,
annual one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Hold on.
Like,
You guys genuinely think that Chelsea has a better attack than Arsenal?
Yeah, you guys are tripping, and let's address
I
it.
do
No,
I do
It's-
believe
I'm
so.
more. I'd be more.
I think over time,
I-
yeah.
Listen, over like they're a young team.
Havertz,
right
come
now.
on, man.
They're a young
Havertz
team
is
right
your
now.
main guy.
How many goals did you score this year?
I've been saying
Havertz, 13, I think, in the
just
league.
as a team. It's a team sport. We're comparing. It's a team sport.
you talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, a
Arsenal,
lot
you're
of
saying
goals.
you're saying Chelsea's attack is better than Arsenal's attack.
Bro, so right now, no, but I've been saying this all year. Let Christopher Nkunku be healthy.
Listen,
Let,
See,
let
here we go.
that's all I'm saying.
Timber was
That's
hurt.
all I'm saying.
We're
Timber was hurt.
digressing.
I just
We're
want it to be
digressing.
said: Chelsea has 71 goals this year. Arsenal has 95.
Yeah.
We know that Chelsea's
Okay. What are we talking
Chelsea's big
about?
issue was in the creative part, the creative space. But when they
Finish
for
it.
where they're at, the year that they have had to have
Yeah.
that to be even that gap not being as, I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm sorry not to put United under the bus, but United has -8 goal difference.
Okay.
No,
Come on, like you gotta
Negative
understand, having
one.
Only team in the top.
having
Only
Negative one.
75 in 1 year when you've had this bad of a year says a lot. And I just want to say for Arsenal piece too, like let's look at Saka. Saka's a great player, one of the best in the Premier
He's
League.
your best player, in
One
my
of the best
opinion.
in England, and you can in many games he's the best player. But one thing about him is this is an eye test thing, so I could be completely wrong here. He's an academy player. He was raised in the academy, played in the academy, been through that system, and he's perfected it. When the difference between him and when you see how Foden plays, I don't know if you know his background. He came up through the academy, but he spent a lot of time playing in these like tight spaces, streets, stuff like that. And there's this truth to just like sometimes I feel like for Saka, he could have an amazing season, but then at times you could feel like you don't like if you're not a fan of the club, you don't even remember what those moments were. Because of the big games, he gets a little bit with Foden, 72 seconds, get a goal.
You know what I think it is though? I think they asked Saka to do too much. That is my opinion.
That's
He
fair.
shouldn't be doing everything. Saka should be like the icing on the cake for real,
Yeah,
for real.
100%.
Like the
we
guy
need
to
to-
unlock stuff. But
we
like
need-
he's the
we-
only guy that everybody looks at.
We need.
If you look at City, they have KDB, they have Haaland, they have somebody else who
Yeah,
can pick up the pieces.
I
Arsenal don't really have that. If it's
I-
not him, then it seems like nothing's happening.
I agree with that, but I hate that when we're talking about Foden, we bring that up to take away from Foden. You know, they're like he has to do less.
No, no one's saying
No,
that.
not that.
No one's
But
saying
he
that.
has
but-
the help.
but-
Foden
But
has
this
the
is the
help.
thing, though. Foden doesn't have to defend like that. Like we need to start letting him have this Salah complex. Like
Everyone will see
if
that he has
he
to defend.
no wait, hold on. No, hold
Foden
on.
don't gotta go.
I'm
do
talking
that.
about.
That's
I'm
not
talking.
true.
Everyone has to
Come
defend,
on.
but let's be real. We're having Saka track the winger all the way back. Like at this point, we need to start adjusting to this superstar. We need to let him have a superstar complex. Like we need to let him ball out. We need to give him that space because, I mean, there's a thing going around, but like about how Odegaard just needs to play more on the left side and give Saka space to just be more central, be more creative. And honestly, it makes sense because when you go back to games when we had Lacazette and Aubameyang, honestly, Saka had a whole entire left side to just operate and just kind of be by himself and just cut in the middle when he wanted to and pick it up and go more centrally. And that's what we see Foden do now.
It
And we just need to let him do it.
It
But-
sounds like people think Saka's better than Foden.
I do think
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
that. But
no.
I definitely think Saka's
Right,
Arsenal's best player.
I think
it's not
I think
debatable
recency
for me.
bias.
But this is my thing. Is
No
Saka that type of player from a personality standpoint to want to be like, I'm gonna take this, space. I'm gonna
No, but
I don't see it in him. He don't have,
But-
like I said, it's that it factor. Like, give me the
No,
ball.
But
You know what I
we
mean?
need that's what I'm saying. We need to finally say, listen, have it. We need someone to let him know that. And I don't think
Mhm.
I don't know if someone's gonna let him know that.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
Because at this point, like you know you're our best player. You're worth the
Yeah.
most money on our team. You have all like you're a superstar. So at some point, if you're gonna be humble in real life, be
It's your team. Like,
arrogant on the field.
you know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because this is your team. Like when Odegaard's not putting on the armband, you are.
but
You
Gabriel,
know what I
we've all-
mean? So I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand, and I don't think it's just him. Like I'm saying, I think we need to bring on different pieces onto the team. So
a striker
we can
will
let players-
definitely
yes,
A striker will
players can
help.
it will get more creative. We can let him be more, more of himself. But like I said, bro,
I just don't think he got that. I
again,
just
we
don't
say
think he
all
got
we
that
say
armor.
all of this to say that because one team did the double on us, bro, we lost the title. Like
Hey,
literally,
Gabriel,
it was, and I'm not like mad at this team. I know we can do better, but some things do have to change, and I'm not mad at this. Like I'm not mad at this season.
You're
don't know.
almost there
Yeah,
for
I'm mad at
real.
this
You're,
season.
Yeah, I don't
you're
know.
really almost there.
And,
I don't
and
know
with,
Arteta's contract, but how many more years?
he has like I believe he has 1 or 2 more years, but he's
I
already
mean,
looking
till the
to
pressure
extend.
gets to A.
The pressure's
Oh.
on now.
The pressure's on now.
Yeah.
The pressure.
I mean, how long is-
He had
No,
the
no, no,
pressure
no, no, no,
last
no, no, no,
season.
no. Because now the pressure is next year we're winning something, or else you have questions to answer.
Yeah.
Now
facts.
that's where I'm
Yeah,
at
I mean-
because I ain't gonna lie, I'll flip flop again. Don't get it.
But
twisted.
if you get like
no, for real. Next year I'm expecting something. It's something because you're not
if
gonna
you get
spend-
another
Yeah,
community
something.
shield,
Something.
does
I
it
don't know.
extend his time?
No. We need a Premier League. We need a Champions League, and if you don't win a Champions League, we need a Carabao and the FA at least. Like I'm not. We're
Community
not
Shield would
going
be
to sit
enough?
here. No, we're not.
Carabao?
We're not here for community shields. No. If Arteta doesn't win something next year, you have something to answer for, because then players are going to start doubting. Saka's going to start doubting. Like then players are going to start doubting. I don't want to see that. No. We have to win something next year. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I like
winning-
that.
I don't
That
care-
was
I
my
don't
thing
care what
too
it is.
this year. I felt like you guys had the chance to be able to, go out and pick up, FA Cup, Carabao. It might not be a big tournament. It might not be the fancy one you want. But I feel like when you win those type of competitions, it's kind of builds confidence within the squad. Like, hey, at least we can win a competition. Guys get to know that. And I feel like us even just get into the Carabao Cup final and the semifinal gave some of these guys hope that, hey, if we just keep pushing, so I think you don't necessarily have to win the league, but if you win something, it'll be the beginning of something.
I think if
They
they
lost
spend
on the
money
last
on a
day.
striker, they have to win the league.
But they're not trying to win these Carabaos, man. They lost
You
the way
have to though.
they
What is
lost.
wrong with that?
But,
No,
that's
they
the-
lost the
that's
way
the
that they
thing.
did, like on the last day. Who does that?
Tom,
Besides-
they're not
Yeah,
the
but-
first team to lose on the last day.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know.
good enough.
I
This is
know,
the thing.
but
This is the thing I agree with Mike
I'm
with,
saying
though.
for next year, though. You're saying like,
Oh, they're not
go
far off.
try and go
They're not
win a
far off.
Carabao. This team is far ahead than winning a Carabao. I think next year.
But they didn't win one though.
But they did. But
didn't-
that's
they
the
weren't in
whole
that
point.
final. They
You
weren't
can
in-
say this team deserves to do this, that, and the third, but you can't skip steps. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
I feel
Arsenal
like
are not Spurs.
Yeah. No. They're not Spurs. We're not saying that, but what I do agree with Mike on is, you get kicked out of the FA Cup early. You get kicked out of the Carabao Cup early. It's like, okay, so now we're going to shift our focus to these two things, the league and Champions League.
Mhm.
And when you put all your eggs in a few baskets and then it doesn't come to fruition, Gable's right. The
Exactly.
confidence does start to wane
Yeah.
a little bit. It's
Mhm.
not that they don't know that they're the second best team in the league or
Yeah,
possibly
they're not
the
far
best
off.
team in the league. They're not far off. They know where they are. But some of these things build confidence and then gets you over the hump. You telling me if a team, if they don't get knocked out of the FA Cup in round 4 or round 5, whatever it is, and they have 4 or 5 things to fight for at the end of the season, that confidence is like, yeah, I know it's hard, but we're still playing 3 matches a week. I know it's hard, but all these other teams are doing it. City's doing it. City still has the City still has the FA Cup to fight for. You know what I mean? They lost in the Champions League, but they won the league, and now they're still fighting for. So it gives you confidence, and it also gives you a reason to keep pushing. And I feel like they're now at that space where they have to win something. I agree with Gabriel 100%. They have
You
to.
have to. Absolutely. I agree with that.
It's that.
I think that they'll pick one of the two next year.
but then that's the thing I haven't always liked. Like I feel like over Arteta's tenure, he hasn't really respected the FA Cup as much. And I mean, I know we've won it, right? But he hasn't really put a lot of effort into those matches and really gotten like us prepared for those matches. And I feel like why wouldn't we just go? It's another thing to go win. Why wouldn't you go and win it? You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
we need to go get those results. And I agree. And I think bolstering the squad will, of course, just make our lineups a little bit better for those games, so we don't have to play everyone. But at the same time, I agree, bro. Like we should win something. Something has to, like, we have to win some type of silverware, bro. Because it's and I agree. For me, it's if we get a Premier League and a FA, a Champions League and a Carabao, like. We need something that means something. I honestly don't want just an FA. Like I need real silverware that we haven't won in a long time or never won ever. You know what I mean? So
besides getting a striker, is there any other moves you'd like to see Arsenal do this summer?
I like to listen. We already claimed that we're getting three things: a striker, a left back, and a midfielder. Those are the three things that we're looking at getting. Listen, the striker names that we've been linked to, I like. The midfielders that we've been linked to, I like. Now the left back is still an issue because I've been hearing about some names, and we're talking about this guy from Turkey, or I think he plays in Turkey right now or something, but that's still where I have an issue. But
tough guys though. Turkish guys, tough guys. you might get one.
Yeah, no, we might get one, but again, it's an experiment. So I don't know. I've been through it, but all I know is the signings we're gonna make. I believe that will be smart. At this point, I trust Arteta with his signings. If I'm being completely honest, I do.
He hasn't really missed a lot. Really.
He's brought in a lot of players, and they've somewhat been cutting out. So. Yeah, that's a bad one. But recently, since he's been able to, kind of put the squad how he wants to put it, everything seems to be working fine. So I trust you with your signings, but it better be good enough to get us over the hump. And you better be good enough to get us over the hump. Because you were brought in to get us over the hump. You say you love the club, we needed to be shown some love back. You feel me?
Yeah, it will be crazy.
So
this Arsenal team don't win anything. Like, to be honest, for all the hating I do, I you guys know I always somebody's got to ruffle the feathers. But if this team doesn't win anything,
it'll be a disappointment.
It'll be something. This is a really good team. Like,
and then players will start to leave, and then we'll be back in the situation we were 3 years ago.
Nah, you still got
because you think if we don't win something next year, and Madrid comes to soccer, hey.
It would be hard not to.
I don't think it's Saka. I think Saliba will be the
one. Or Saliba. Teams already. Real Madrid's already. Hey, they're asking. They're asking. Yeah. you think this experiment has another year, bro? You better go win something because year 2 and these Salibas that they might go.
Yeah, everybody's not an academy youth. Everybody doesn't have
start having problems.
Is Ramsdale leaving?
He'll probably leave.
Damn, y'all did dirty like
that. Chelsea might need it.
But these players might start going. So I need some type of meaningful silverware next year. But yes, the season is still a failure for me. Unfortunately, it's a failure.
Okay.
But that's a fair assessment, and I feel like for your team, you guys need to win something because it's so hard to go all year, fight as well as you did, and still just leave empty-handed. Like it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the year awards, it's going to be tough for Arteta to be like, "You boys gave everything." It's like, yeah, we gave everything, but I still need something back. And I feel like that's where you guys are at right now. That's United. They need something. I don't know what they need. They need to call God because it's been 10 years and 4 score and
wait, they stole 2 City guys though.
You said what?
They stole 2 City guys.
Well, Omar, Barada.
Barada.
Mr. Barada.
They
See,
dodging
even
the handcuffs.
Zion knows who that is.
Dodging
Yo, that's crazy.
Tell him who it is, Zion. Tell him who it is.
That's crazy.
He knows. He
That's
knows.
crazy.
Nah, but United, this has been y'all worst year since I've probably been watching football. Eighth place, below the terrible Chelsea, and I mean, I guess y'all still fighting for an FA Cup. So yeah, you can technically leave here with some, but
Bro, how have you been sleeping lately?
I got
Yeah,
a-
this
The
has
only
been
team still
absolute
eligible to win a title.
United team.
I got a real question. Do you want to keep Onana next year?
No, ask him if he wants to keep Ten Hag.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
get
the real
that man.
No, listen, Carrie,
Listen.
I'm glad you're here.
Get
I'm glad
that
you're here
man.
because I want to make something very clear.
Let me hear.
You guys think you guys always say this and that. This and that
You're brave.
about this man here. This man here, hold on, let me duck this way. This man here has had to deal with so much. You guys, you don't know the half of it. You don't know the half of it. And in spite of all, of course, I never once have complained about injuries at all. It's a part of the game. It's unfortunate that it happens. Yes, the players do play a lot of games, but in our case, I just think we have a very poor medical team. But we have had a catastrophe of a season. That's my winger, by the way, in the Champions League final. But that's still my manager.
My boy.
What I will say is this, and I have him here taking notes. I don't know if you can see him, but he's taking notes, as we all are, as Ineos are. And quite frankly, I think you just have to give him credit, getting us into another final.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Bro, you are shameless.
That fucking game?
What? We're in a final. Is anyone else here in the final besides you? Won the title.
Y'all lost.
What did you
It
say?
was a bad offsides call. Y'all lost.
What do you mean? It was a bad offsides call? Zion, I think we played this Saturday, so I don't know why you're still talking about the Coventry game.
Oh,
That game is over.
I'm gonna
and
send
done
you
with.
my number. I'm calling you every time we score a goal. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna
send me your number.
We
Send
gonna
me your
chat.
number. That's
I'm
fine.
gonna do the Zion famous FaceTime. I call all my friends when we're beating their teams.
We can converse. But listen,
But you think Ten Hag got you there to the final?
he did. I mean, look at the team that we had to play. Look at the team that we had to play.
The players. Where are the
People said
players?
people remember last week you guys were telling me just last week you guys were telling me Casemiro can't play in the back.
Come on, bro. We saw what happened.
Listen, man. All right,
Bro, we all saw what happened.
No,
We saw what happened.
no.
At Crystal Palace, I mean.
You how
Just-
can you?
Just last week you were telling me that Casemiro can't play center back. Lisandro Martinez comes back, clean sheet. I don't think that that's a coincidence.
Listen, man.
It's very clear.
Listen,
it's very clear that when this manager has his players, we're a competitive team.
Listen, man.
Does it look pretty? Does it look pretty all the time? No, it doesn't. But I don't think that you can blame him for a lot of the things that have. Obviously, he's had his faults. He's mismanaged a few situations.
A few? There's so many things.
Listen.
What?
All right, man.
What?
I can't take this. I can't.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We got
My
it.
cap off. He capping.
I cannot, man. Listen.
Big cap.
You cannot defend this manager with his poor talent ID, first of all, to begin with.
Talk that shit.
This man, out of all the midfielders and everything that was available during that offseason, I was so happy at that point in time. I was like, all right, we're going to get rid of McTominay. You know what I mean? We should keep Fred. I like Madison is out there for 40 million. We should go snag him. Sabitzer was 15 million. We should keep him in our squad. We got Sancho. We're looking for some different players. This man went and got Mason Mount, bro, and Rasmus Højlund. Those are the two players he went and got. Two players that don't even fit into what he's trying to do, because we have Bruno and Mount that pretty much play the same type of position. And we know Bruno just spams the ball, and Mount is not a quality player at that position. Then we went and got a striker who scored 11 goals in the Italian league the season before, and said, you know, my man, come get the number 11 jersey. You know, we're gonna replace you Giggsy out here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My man not even better than Mason Greenwood, bro. You know what I mean? Let's keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And he went and put him there. And then on top of that, you have this. I know y'all love Garnacho, but he is not good, bro. To me, he is not good. He's not good.
Okay,
He's an
come on.
Listen to me. He's an
Come on.
undersized. He's an undersized pace and power player, right? The dude cannot trap a ball and he cannot make a pass. This last game we watched at Brighton, he just kicks the ball in the middle of nowhere. Because I watch the games without sound, so things that look weird, they stand out a lot to me. It's like, what is really going on here, right? So you bench him, you bench Jadon Sancho for that guy. Come on, man. The manager is clearly the vote of like tactical paralysis, because he's playing this 4-1-6 formation and leaving Casemiro by himself to just get overran in the midfield. He won't even make the adjustment. You went and bought Amrabat, and you won't even play him in a double pivot to even help your team from leaking goals. So nothing this man is doing
Easy stuff.
is even helping himself. He does not understand the game. And then I thought we were going to get Ajax football. That's what I thought we were going to get. You brought in, you got your man like Van der Beek here. You brought me a man like, you had your man like what's his name? Anthony. You
I
brought
forgot about Donny.
right?
Wow.
You have them two players, and you can't utilize them in any system that you have. The man is a fraud, bro.
Here's my thing.
He
Here's
does
my
not
thing.
like ballers, and he does not like players who can play with close control. He likes PNP powered players like Rashford and Bruno, and they get us nothing. And he refuses to sub them and sit them down to do something. I've been screaming free Diallo for months. That man looks so good in the low cameos that he has gotten. Scored a goal, a banger on top of that. And then his close control, the link-up play and everything gives our team something totally different. This manager has no clue what he's doing. I think the job is too heavy for him, and he need to go coach in the YMCA, bro. He's done, bro.
Here's my thing.
Sunday league.
Here's my thing with Erik ten Hag. This is the thing he said on the last day of the Premier League when they asked him how he felt about it. The thing is, if this came from Arteta, I could understand. Or it came from Klopp during those 2 years, I can understand. So we're talking 97 points, 98 points, 80, 89, whatever for this year. I'm forgetting the exact amount. Where it's like, yeah, no, you are being pushed as an organization to the absolute limits to make this, and you're at least there. You're putting yourself in that position. But this to be said by the coach of Manchester United, when we're talking about going from 6th, 8th, don't get mad at the competition. This is a long life battle with yourself. Like, you need to figure this out. Like, we need to take this back.
Using that Kendrick callback.
And I'm saying, like, you need to start really reflecting, because you worried about being 60 points 2 years ago and in 6th and comparing it to 58 points in 8th and be like, oh man, it's just gotten more competitive. I'm like, yeah, dumbass. Like, what you want? Like, this is how this goes. Like, every year it's gonna get more and more competitive, and people need to show up. And you're talking about Manchester United, of all the team that when I started supporting everybody, that was the bandwagon team. I want that to be understood. That was the team where if you wanted glory, you joined Manchester United. Glory.
Please
glory.
say it louder.
And
Listen, man. I'm here to say I'm no bandwagon.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
Look,
that was for many years.
I've watched great times with big players.
Hey.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
I was wondering what the kid was.
Respect.
Hey, those kids look kind of new.
That's why I said, like, this manager has to go, bro.
No, I want Salam to respond to what
I have
said.
seen, you know, and then comparing Bruno to this man here, this man, King, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Salam, respond to what he said, because he just made some points. I want to hear what you're going to say about what he just said.
Oh, now he's on mute.
Speak. Oh, your mic is out.
No hugs today, man. No,
No,
hugs.
it's zero. We're on zero
Yeah.
hags today, man.
They're at
Yeah.
-8 hugs with
Okay.
Campbell in front of.
Lights are too
All
bright.
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I brought
What was
the
the
kung
question?
fu kit out for you because I'm kicking mans in the stand, bro, for chatting nonsense.
What was the question?
No, I'm saying respond to what he said because he made some valid points about talent ID, guys that he brought in, all of that. And I know your main thing has been guys he needs to get out.
I mean, okay, so I don't think has Rasmus been bad?
I
Bro.
mean, the last 2 games he's done
I
something.
mean, Kerry,
but-
you watched us. Do we as
Sorry.
a team? How many chances do we even create for the striker?
It's not about that. It's not even about the chances. I've seen that man in the box trying to find his feet in front of the goal. I've seen that man can't make a 5-yard pass layoff. You know what I mean? He spend more time backing down people looking like he had carnival. You know what I mean? Pause. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like he's built like Holland. And he cannot lay off a pass. So that's what I'm saying to you, bro. And this is when I say in the chat sometimes, like, there's certain aspects of your game as a footballer you cannot learn big. We always say that, meaning like he's at an age right now. There's certain things he's never going to get in his game. He's just not, and he already has a manager who's not putting him in a situation to be successful. He scored a goal the other day and cried. I mean, my man.
Yeah, but man, look at some of the stuff. Like when you look at a lot of the losses that we've had, it's not like he said like we do a good job of squandering like good leads and like the opportunities that we create. Think about how many times that like we go up in games and we either lose leads or lose the game.
But whose fault
That's
is
the-
that? though?
Yo,
That's the
perfect
manager.
example.
That's on
Chelsea
the
game.
players. That's on
Chelsea game. Whose fault was
Chelsea
that?
game. That's on the players. How we did everything right to win that game. You can say whatever he wants. Oh, he didn't make this change or this change. We were winning that game. And then again, what happens? What always happens happens. We always we make a mistake, we lapse of judgment. Here we are, and now the game is tied. Same thing that happens. You lose your head. You try to make up for it. Diego Dalot, you give up a corner kick. Cole Palmer takes a shot, deflection off Scott McTominay. Now we're down 4-3. This happened in a matter of how many minutes? That's not on the manager. And in spite of all, look at the players. Rashford being poor this year. Statistically, Bruno's had a decent season. He's been poor. Our defense as a whole has been poor, which has made Onana look a lot worse than he actually is. I think next year, with the back line actually there, he'll look a little bit better. Jury's still out there. I'm not saying that I'm not even saying he's better.
The man
That's
can't
a bold
save.
claim.
The man can't save, bro. He's a goalkeeper, bro.
Listen, but I feel like there obviously are some players like Anthony. You know, you have to question that there.
Yeah,
Does
but he
everyone
still
get-
hasn't beat EA prediction.
man. No, but like, what manager has gotten us into like consistently? We're in finals. When have we had?
This
You have to win them, though.
This is the thing,
Yeah, but
right?
we have to get there first. We did
Sounds like Ole.
This,
No, what do you
this-
mean?
this-
Ole, we've won a trophy. We've won a trophy. I don't understand. Like, he's won a trophy. Like,
Listen, I'm sorry, I gotta stop you again. This isn't, bro. We are Manchester United, bro. It is
Carabao
levels
is not
to
enough.
It is levels to this, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It is-
Kerry.
It is levels to this.
Who
What I'm
are
saying.
we? You talk about the institution, right? The
I hear. I know our roof is leaking and all this other stuff, but we have to maintain standards at some level and draw the line in the sand. A man has to have a code with that, in a sense. So what I'm saying to you is like the type of players that our manager is identifying that he needs doesn't fit into anything he's trying to do.
Okay.
And this is the last piece. And as far as in-game adjustments, he has proven time and time again that he's incapable of making in-game adjustments and substitutions. And the final thing is, like Mason them said, like two things can be right at the same time. The players could be bad and the manager can be bad too. So we need a cleansing at our club right now.
No, and I think that these new guys that are coming in are going to do just that. So, Hey, maybe you know what?
No, they're not.
I agree
It's
that
gonna take years.
I agree
I
that
It is.
just
It's
did
going to
it.
take 3. This is the most critical transfer
I
window.
just did it. It's not gonna happen next year,
Listen.
Salam. I
No, I
It's
promise
not.
you.
This is the
but you
most
have to
critical
start.
transfer
We're
window for
literally
us.
in it right now.
We have
Trust.
to start.
Yeah,
We have
this is
to
the
start.
most
agree.
critical transfer window for us
It
right
is.
now as a club.
The first
This
one, yeah.
this determines if we're going to be an 8th place club forever, or if we're going to make that move to try to at least get in the top 4. Because the type of players that we are losing versus what we're trying to replace them with, it needs to be
Yeah.
spot on. You know what I mean? Because some of the things we're losing with Varane and Casemiro and some of the other players that are linked to move, I mean, those are quality players, and have played in big games. So the experience they can
Yeah.
pass on to younger players, you know, it's
And
gonna be
it's
difficult.
tough. Like this isn't the United of 10 years ago. You guys aren't
It's not.
attracting the big name guys anymore. So
No.
he has to be very strategic in who he gets as his transfers
Which
because
is
it's
what-
not a lot
yeah.
of draw to United.
Do you think your players like Ten Hag?
I think they do.
Mm.
I think they
Anthony
do.
doesn't.
Some niggas don't be smiling. I don't know. I mean, they lose a lot, but-
Well, see, like we're they're not smiling. They're not
No,
smiling.
I won't
problem
spec.
is
Like,
that-
listen. I'm out on the manager, but I won't speculate on his relationship with the players. I mean, you know, you're looking at a 1.2 second clip of a manager and a person. You know, you never know what you're going to get, right?
Mhm.
In a sense, but I can clearly see from the way they play, there's a disconnect between the manager and the players because he's been at this team now for 2 years, and I have not seen any pattern of play going on in the final third. The players do whatever they want, and Bruno is the top of the list. He does whatever he wants, and he's beyond reproach. And you can tell, like sometimes when you watch shots, like him and Casemiro, there's some kind of rift between them because Cass always looking like, bro, this man is not good, bro. And I have to be running back and doing all the dirty work for him in the middle of the field while he just keeps giving away the ball. But that's why I said it's on the manager to fix those things and to get a cohesive midfield unit, to give the strikers and give those wingers opportunities. It comes down to the manager to tell the players when it's time to shut down shop, you know, and preserve this win. Because to me, there are like 4 games this season where it's clearly on him. And if we won those 4 games, we would be in top 4 point wise. They're clearly on the manager.
Where do you stand on Rashford?
I didn't want Rashford back after he had that big season. I thought that was the season to sell him. His stock would have never been higher, you know, to get rid of him, because he's the type of player to me is like this. Rashford is an impact player to me. I don't think he's a full 90-minute player to come on and play. Listen, for where we're trying to go, if we're trying to win Champions Leagues and we're trying to win that, we need to be comparing him to the likes of the Vinnies, the Mbappes, and all those players of that type of play in this position. And he's not. He's the bottom of that list. So we need to
very bottom.
That's fair.
He's a very and he's keeps declining every year. You keep seeing a player that's like, man, is he potentially better than Rashford? You know, look, even in the England squad, he's kind of looked like he's losing his place there too. So he's a player on decline. I blame Ole for some of that because I felt like Ole had a chance to like instill some certain things in his game, but he was playing him in this hybrid winger role that he really had. That time he should have been developing as a player, he really lost some of that development. But I didn't want him back. I thought we hit the jackpot. We could have gotten like 100 million and got 2 solid players that would have elevated our squad to another tier.
Yeah, you guys answered this question.
Yeah, Kerry, you go first. Answer this question. What 3 to 5 moves would you want United to make this offseason?
Man, well, first of all, I'll say a new manager. That's the first move.
Oh yeah, who would you bring in as a manager?
The thing is, to me, the manager I want is not available. You know, I really want a Javi at Leverkusen. Like, we need a type of manager who can be on the field with the players and show them how to do certain things. There's something that a player of his class that can bring to our dressing room. I watched him in training with his club. I mean, that man is still pinging a driven ball 50 yards across the field.
I just watched that video the other day.
You know,
Yep.
so it's something that, you know, that does to players. It's like, all right, this guy's not just talking; he actually can do it. You know, and that's what Zidane, the effect he had on Real Madrid. So I would say get rid of him. As far as like players, man, we need more than 3 to 5. We need we need 9 players, honestly.
Ooh, see,
we
Gabriel,
realistic-
Gabriel said we're almost there. I told you we need a whole new team.
Nah, that was like a year ago, though.
We need
No,
nine
this
players.
season. That was this season.
because players like Garnacho, Kobe
Nah,
Mainu,
is that long?
they should not be in the starting lineup at all. They should be featured players. They're
Kobe
young
Mainu
players.
shouldn't.
You don't think Mainu's ready?
No, I don't think
Mainu's
Mainu's ready.
one of our best players.
He is one of our best players, but look at it historically. You're not going to throw an 18-year-old into that kind of rebuild. I think that there's still parts of his game he needs to develop. He's a good player. He's a solid player. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. But you don't need to throw him into the fire like that immediately. So I think those two players, like you pull out a lineup, I think we really need a true starting number 9. And we need to figure out our winger situation. Are we keeping Greenwood? Are we keeping Sancho? What are we doing here with those guys?
Who would you bring in as a 9, though?
I want even Tony, man. Listen, I'm all in for Tony. I love him as a
I
player.
heard he's going to West Ham.
You know, I love him as a player.
West Ham.
I don't see
It's London.
that, but
I've been hearing.
He was talking about Real Madrid, and wasn't that him?
Tony's not a bad shout, actually.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
You
as a
could
striker.
get him on a decent transfer fee too.
He does two things for us. You know, he can link up play and he can also score goals. Because once again, it's a system you're looking at. You got to have 2 squads within your system to be able to do different things. So I'll go there. We need a center back. I think we need to get another 10, a different type of 10 outside of Bruno to do something different for us. And then
like who?
There's no one really out there available. I felt like Madison would have been perfect for us at the time to come in.
You have Mason.
Man.
Do you think James Madison is better than Mason Mount?
For what we're trying to do, yes, I think he's a better player. He's more creative. He doesn't lose the ball in possession, and you can get a goal out of him every once in a while. I think the type of idea of player I like players who are press resistant, and those are the type of players that are going to get you to the next step. If you look at the elite teams, look at City. I mean, as much as I don't like them, look at Real Madrid. Even look at Bayern Munich. Look at even like Dortmund now. They have players that are press resistant. You can't just out press them and get the ball. Or they have a system to where they can go really, really, really compact and then hit you really good on the counter because they have the elite players to do that. So it's 2 systems within the game. We don't have players to play one system. Arsenal is on the verge of having that too because you have substitutions. Where
I was just about to say you're not gonna put us in that conversation.
Come on,
I feel like we press resistant for real. Hey,
you know,
hey,
I see you.
Declan Rice now became press resistant.
I see you.
I'm telling you, we're low key press resistant now. I ain't gonna lie. That is the next step, though. That is the next step.
So it's the next step. So when I compare our team to those teams, and even Chelsea to a certain extent, even though they're young, but the if you look at the talent ID of the players that they got, Malo Gusto, like we were linked with him 2 years ago, didn't pull the trigger. I started watching French League just to see who this guy was, and I felt like he was a decent player, but we didn't get him. But if you look at the ID, the Cole Palmers of the world, you can't just press them to get the ball. Even the Madueke is on the wing, like he's gonna be able to do something. He's scary on the wing.
Talk about it.
So and Cuckoo of the world, you can play him as a 9, you can play him as a 10, you can play him out wide. There's so much fluidity to those attacks that make it scary. That's what I'm saying. Those teams, we don't have any of that. We have players that are locked into their position, and that's all they can do. And I blame the manager for that too, because he brought in some of those guys or gave them a lot of feature playing time.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to say
that is very.
To the rest comment on with City, when we lost Gundo, our biggest, you think we were like, oh, we're gonna miss his goals, we're gonna miss his what we were going to miss was his press resistance, and we got Kovacic in place of that. So to your point, to have a player, 1 or 2 players that are just like, yeah, I don't really care what y'all gonna do, I'm gonna give an 8, and so I was like, that's I'm gonna make sure there's an 8 on this, a 7 or an 8, and every time that's what you're gonna get out of them. We don't got players like that. It's really difficult to build it.
So, do you have anything else before we talk about the boys in blue?
No, I'll save what I have to say for the predictions for the FA Cup final.
Oh God, here we go.
No, that's like Kerry. I'm glad you brought up Chelsea in like our talent ID and these young players, because that's primarily what I was going to talk about. I mean, the season it ended. We're at 6th place. It is what it is. Shout out to us for even getting the European berth, but that was probably the biggest refresher for this season. Just seeing the emergence of these young players that you can see the vision. You know what I'm saying? And even if I wasn't able to see the vision in the beginning, now I'm starting to see potentially what this new Chelsea might look like in the future. You know, and for 3 to 5 changes I want, just like Salam said, we need a new physio staff because there's absolutely no reason why we had 50 plus major injuries to our 23-man roster,
Crazy,
including multiple injuries for the same player, different ones. And so for me, it's like, bro, if we're fighting tooth and nail to somewhat have some sort of, you know, way in this league, we have to have our players as much as possible. We see Reece James twice, once at the beginning of the year and once at the end of the year. And what did Reece James do? He showed who he can be if he's on the pitch. We saw Christopher Nkunku 6 times this year. And what did he do? He had 3 goals and 2 assists. So for me, it's like, bro, we potentially have a team that could be fighting for championships, fighting for FA Cups, fighting for Carabaos. Now we're in Europe. Let's see what we do with potentially Europa. But none of our team is there. And Zion, I'm about to over here eating. What is that? Jimmy John's. You look like Roger right now.
Roger.
Look at Roger.
You look like Penn Station.
Yeah. But for me, it's like I said this when we did our mid-year predictions. I said I believe Chelsea in the second half of the year will have more points. I think we'll be better at home. And my hope was that we had Nkunku through the second half of the year. It didn't end up happening. It is what it is. But the emergence of a Cole Palmer, the emergence of a Malo Gusto. I keep telling y'all, I know Nicholas Jackson has his deficiencies, but there's a player there. There is a player in Nicholas Jackson. So for me, it's now looking at this year with a grain of salt. Like, can Poch come back next year and improve on what he was able to do on the second half of this year? Because in 2024, when you look at like the tables, like who accumulated points, we were 5th or 4th on the table. So if you can just put together 2 halves of a season, we're fighting for top 4. You know, there were a few games we could all go back. I know, Mike, we talk about this a lot. There are a few games where if, you know, we get an extra goal or we defend at home, we're looking at 5th place. I mean, the only reason that Tottenham is above us is luck to me, because we beat them both home and away. And I strongly believe we have a better team than them. You know, shout out to Angel, what he was able to do in the beginning of the year. But like I said, you have to be able to put together a full season of 38 games. I know injuries are part of the game, but there's absolutely no reason for 50 plus major injuries to multiple people. I mean, there's no when you lack consistency in your starting 11, when the players aren't able to hang out and kick it with each other on the pitch and understand how they each play, there's going to be, you know, your learning curve is going to be that much wider, because now we have to, I didn't know Mudryk could do. Oh, Mudryk can do that. Oh, okay, now bet. Now I can. Oh, wait, Malo Gusto can do. Oh, okay, so now we can have link-up play. And that was one of the best things last summer. We were starting to see some of the link-up play with Ian Matson, Nani, Madueke. We didn't have Cole Palmer yet, but Nkunku was looking like a superstar. And then season starts, injuries, you know, it is what it is. But for me, I really love this team. Like at the beginning of the year, I didn't see the vision. I was frustrated. I was like, we went and we bought all these 19-year-olds and put them on death row 9-year deals. And so this is the team we're stuck with until I'm going to have kids. And so for me, I'm like, do I have to wake up 7 o'clock on a Sunday to watch this team play and be happy that we could possibly get a result? Now I can look and say, yeah, I'll wake up at 7:30. I know what we got. But for me, it's Poch. Are you going to be able to improve on what we were able to do in 2024? Because if he can't, it's going to be a very, very long season.
Is there anyone you want this summer?
Honestly, bro, I wanted a left back, because
you get a right back.
Davies is the one I'm looking at.
I want a left back because I think everywhere else we're pretty solid. We need more midfielders, but I think if we can Caicedo towards the end of the year started looking very, very good. And if Enzo can somehow pick up his play, I feel like that midfield will be solid for years to come. With Ben Chilwell not being there, I don't rate Cucurella. And Ian Maatsen was our best left back, and now he's on Dortmund, probably going to stay at Dortmund. I think we need a left back. Right back, with Reece James being hurt and the emergence of Malo Gusto, I like it there. Our center backs, without Thiago Silva, we're going to have to figure out who we want. But the guys we have are serious. So, no, I think we don't really need to tinker with the team that much. I just think we need to improve. And that's the biggest thing for me. We need to see that improvement. If we were to go get Davies, I know he's linked with Madrid and we'll see what happens. But I think with a real left back, our team is solid. Like if we were able to finish 6th place with this team, I think we are very, very solid.
Few tweaks, yeah.
Do you
Just
want
a few
Victor
tweaks,
Osimhen?
nothing crazy. It would be nice, but
Do you want to spend that
I don't.
money?
It would be nice. I'm not gonna say it wouldn't be nice to have a real striker, but like I said, I think Nicholas Jackson can do the job for us. I all these stats going around about how he scored more than Drogba in Drogba's first year and this, that, and the third. Cool. All right, whatever. It's a different era. We know that they're more goal scorer now. I just know that this team has something there. That's all I got to say. This team is serious. And I know a lot of y'all looking over here like, yeah, it's Chelsea. But look, 3 years ago, we got sanctions. Roman's gone. This is a new era. And we're finally pushing through it. Like Gabriel said, them 3 years, when Gabriel said his 3-year rebuild was a thing, I was laughing at him because I didn't think it was going to take that long for us.
Real.
And now we're on year 4. And I'm like, I finally am seeing what we possibly can be. You know what I'm saying? And we're not there yet. We know we're close to being there yet. But I think that there's a formidable team here that in a year or two, everybody's going to be scared.
I agree with you.
Everyone's going to be scared. Seriously.
I have a question for you. Do you believe in your manager?
Real quick, is Thiago Silva staying? Because that's the only thing I just
No, he's gone.
Answer that one first. Do you believe in
No,
I personally don't. But.
Because I still smell that Tottenham stench on him, and they can't win anything. And for me, this is going to be big for Poch because, Tottenham, he did what he did there. He brought them up into almost being a decent team. He went to PSG. He was given the world, and he didn't really do what he was supposed to do at PSG. And I feel like now that he's back in the Prem, he has to prove himself. This job is Poch proving himself to be
that Carabao final too, man. It was.
And that's
didn't like the game management in that final at all.
We're going toe to toe with a City that's playing some of their reserve players, and we're going our hardest, and it gets to the very bitter end, and we couldn't put it away, And I feel like that's something that he needs to improve on, just the in-game management in some of these high games. And it's crazy because when you look at our record against the top 6, we did decent, but in certain matches he just loses his head, and it's like, what are we doing? So for me personally, I don't believe in him all the way, but I'm willing to give him another year to show me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was saying it in the group chat that, I mean, if we're gonna go get another manager, we might as well just stick with him, because if we're gonna get another manager, it has to be somebody experienced. But Fabrizio just came out and said that if we're going for another manager, they want a young guy to take over.
McKenna, I've been hearing McKenna.
I don't want to do that because then you're starting all over again. I'm not trying to do that. He's given us a reason to give him one more year at least to see it out, to see, okay, is he the guy? Can he get us over the hump? One final, one semifinal. Even though I didn't like, his game management in the final, he's brought us, a lot of hope, something to build on for next season. I think the injuries didn't help him as well, but I think Cornelius said everything, to be honest. If we could get Alphonso Davies, if we can somehow convince him to come. I know it's going to be tough, but he's been said he was a Chelsea fan, so maybe that plays a part, but I don't know. I would also like a Modric, like somebody experienced on the team. We lost Thiago Silva. I've heard, rumors of Varane, us going after Varane. I don't know about that.
That's a good pick for y'all.
I don't know about that.
That's my thing with Thiago Silva going away. That's the most.
Yeah,
one of the
we
most
need we need some experience coming in. But I do believe a second striker will help Nicholas Jackson. Because when I look at Nicholas Jackson, I'm like, if you guys remember, if you remember back in the day, the next year after Drogba came in, we brought on Naka. And then what happened? This exploded. I think Jackson needs somebody like that. Maybe it could be Nkunku. He could be doing that with Nkunku. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Lukaku coming back.
I wouldn't mind trying Lukaku over again, but the rumor is that he had to sit down with the owners last summer, and they both decided, hey, we're gonna just go our separate ways. So they're ready to sell him. But we don't need much for real. The guys that we have, the number one thing we have to do is make sure these guys are healthy. We can't be doing this for the third year in a row. N'Golo Kante could not stay healthy. He's playing every game.
Every match.
Please tell me how that makes
Every
sense.
match.
It doesn't make any sense to me. We're in England with the best doctors, everything, and we can't keep him healthy. So to me, it's like whatever is going on in that physio room needs to be figured out. Then after that, bring in 2-3 guys, mainly guys with some experience. Modric right now wants to stay at Real Madrid, but hey, if we can snag him, hey, please come help us out. But I wouldn't mind Dybala either. I'm a big Dybala fan. I wouldn't mind Dybala either. But I just don't think we're that far off. We just need some guys that have done it, that can lead some of these young guys, and we should be fine.
And that has been my biggest issue with Raheem Sterling. Bro, where were you all year?
Yeah,
You're a serial winner. You've only played on England's finest clubs. You come as a 28, 29-year-old with a wealth of history behind you, and
Absolutely.
somehow you're not even in our starting. And when you do start, you're not squaring the ball to make the pass. You're trying to do too much.
The little
That's
things.
not what we need. We need someone there with experience that's there to be a leader. Because the biggest issue with us is we don't really have someone we can lean on. Like when the going gets rough. I mean, Cole Palmer, shout out to him, 32 GA in his first season for real. And but we can't rely on the 21-year-old when the going gets tough. We need someone who has a little bit more, stature.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest things our team needs. We need a real leader. We need someone there who doesn't necessarily have to play every game or all 90 minutes, but someone who's able to hey, let's go. We're down one. That doesn't matter. Let's go.
Conor Gallagher is an interesting one. He just sell Conor Gallagher. At the beginning of the year, I'll be fine with him walking out the door.
Yeah.
Now I'm not so comfortable with that because
he's the one
guys.
guy.
We gotta be for real, man. Like some guys are not good, but they give you everything.
Mr. Chelsea.
The boys.
You can't take those players for granted. Like a guy that's good. That type of players are infectious. They can rally guys around them. Is he club captain material? I don't know. Not first captain, but
I agree with
still,
this.
But I mean,
I can't let him.
But we
walk.
know why he was captain. Reece James gets hurt, and
then
we
Chilwell
literally
gets
had no one else.
Chilwell got to go. Chilwell got to get out of here. Like I'm not doing.
Oh,
this
Chile. Damn,
Chile has to go.
What happened?
Chalobah, I hope
chill
we
on
do
Chile.
not sell.
Chill on Chile.
Nah, Chile got to go. Chalobah has to stay. Like if we sell Chalobah, there's something wrong. I mean, when this guy plays, we don't lose. He's consistent. He doesn't really make mistakes.
He's better than Body Shield.
Like,
Yeah,
For sure.
he's been more consistent than him. I'll give you
and
that.
he's an academy player as well. Chalobah.
We cannot sell Chalobah.
Where's
But-
Fofana?
Shalom, stop.
He's one
gonna
of the
come
he's
back.
one of the 50 plus, bro. I'm telling you.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Hmm.
But we have guys. I would have loved to see Thiago stay one more year. I mean, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I cried yesterday. I just couldn't. It was just like, man, Thiago Silva is one guy I've always wanted since AC Milan. I never, ever in my life ever saw that. I never thought this guy would ever even come to the Prem, and he played for my club. I was that was enough for me. It wasn't the best 4 years, but yeah, I would have loved to see him stay one more year, but it is what it is. Like, to be honest, let's give Poch another run. But if Tuchel or Jose wants to come, hey, make it happen.
Thank you for your services.
I think Poch might be your manager before your manager that gets you to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think he might just be the guy that gets us to the threshold, and then somebody has to take us in.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, that was a very long roundabout way, but do I trust Poch for another year? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's done enough for me to give him the benefit of the doubt. So why not? But speaking of managers, though, Klopp. What are we saying about Klopp's legacy? I know we talked about it a little bit last week. I know everybody on this pod knows I don't believe there was ever a City Liverpool era. It's always been a City era. But I have to give Klopp his credit for what he did with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
When he got to Liverpool, they were struggling. They needed something. And he brought them another Champions League, their first Premier League trophy in the Premier League era. Let me clarify that. He's gotten them what? FA Cup, Club Cup.
He's won everything.
He's won
everything. So to me, where do you guys put him? I personally don't put him top 5 because I don't think he did that much in the league to get that. But
as far as Prem managers,
yeah, as far as Prem managers, I don't think he's top 5 for me.
Nah. It would be tough to put him there.
Who would you put in the top 5? No particular order. Pep.
It's definitely Pep, Sir Alex, Wenger, Jose, and then it's like Ancelotti. You could throw Ancelotti. You could throw in Dalglish. You could throw in.
Wow, that's a name. That's a shot.
I don't know. He just didn't do enough in the Prem for me.
What is Dalglish?
He would be 5. He would be like 5A or 5B. You know what I'm saying? We probably have to put him at 5, but
yeah,
if we do our homework, we might find somebody else.
I mean, Ancelotti had a career in the Prem.
Yeah, but
he didn't win as much.
You know what I'm saying? How much was he winning?
Yeah. I think the thing that's tricky with the Prem is that it's basically past. When you look at like just the trophies won and everything, it's really been either if United was winning with Sir Alex Ferguson, and now we're getting this time with like Pep. And so when you look at that in the context of what the Premier League has looked like, I mean, man. So when I started watching City and started following the game, Liverpool were in the mud, like they were dusted. If you had told me
guaranteed 3 points,
that was like supposed to be the most successful in England, I'd be like, nah, they were not. That there's no way. This feels dilapidated. And then he comes in and just resurrects that club fully. And so it's just like that club went through what I think what United is going through right now, which is like this really deep, dark period of just like poor decisions, struggles to figure things out. And then boom, came in and just said, all right, well, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, at least 1 trophy a year. And it's tough because like, how can you say that we probably wouldn't have done 100 points if it wasn't for Liverpool also pushing that hard. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have done the things that we did if we didn't have a competition at that level. Did he not win that many Prems? Obviously, but Liverpool hasn't won that many Prems. Like they've won, I think all of their Prems are his. So it's like we're talking about just the Premier League. So it's just like, what do you say to that?
Okay.
With that,
he would probably be 5, I guess. Yeah, when you break it down like that, you're right. Because the impact that he had on Liverpool will literally never be forgotten.
Yeah. That one, you can't take that away. You cannot take that away.
Put Klopp in United or at United when Alex Ferguson left, they would have been won multiple Premier Leagues. And I don't say that as a dig against United, but like it's really just about what type of coach he is. And with the resources that United could pour in, I mean, they would have won.
Oh, absolutely.
No, definitely one of the best managers of the Premier League. As a rival fan, I'm glad to see him go because he hasn't really been too nice to United. So, but no, definitely gave a run to one of the best teams of this decade, of this era. So, kudos to him. I'm curious to see how the next guy does. I'll be waiting. When we do our
Do you guys
Run
think
in.
there's gonna be a
Slot 'em in.
drop off?
Slot 'em in.
You guys think there'll be a drop off
Yep.
at least for
Oh,
the
yeah.
first year?
Slaughterhouse,
1000%.
I just
Slaughter gang.
slaughter gang.
it just depends on what type of system he plays.
Arnie Slot is 0-2 against Eric Ten Hag because they both came from the
I'm trying to tell you.
from
So
the Ajax. So I'm just like, I
it's
don't know. I
deeper
was
than
like,
rap. It's deeper.
deeper than rap. It really is.
So you saying
no
Liverpool
kidding.
gonna start playing Ajax ball now?
You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see.
From
But,
heavy metal to Ajax.
But someone asked this question earlier, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion, just in general.
Right.
What do you guys think are the biggest transfer targets of this year? So, like, which players have like really boosted their stock going into this, this summer?
Police
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Victor.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say the kid from Crystal Palace. I feel like that kid.
Wharton.
Yeah.
Wharton's nice, man. I revel.
Crystal Palace. Yeah. I mean, we're finally able to see what Elise can do somewhat healthy.
His numbers were
think
crazy.
His numbers were nuts this year.
Games he played.
Where
Solanke,
Lane from?
I was gonna say Solanke. He probably will go to like another like mid.
I would say he should stay, man.
Ollie
Sometimes
Watkins too.
Ali up.
sometimes it's good to just kick it where you're at. I don't know why he would move off of Bournemouth. If you're Solanke, but
Bournemouth
I mean,
all-time
I could
leader.
see him
Watkins
going to like a
definitely.
Spurs. I could see him going to a Spurs.
Oh, man.
Solanke.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a sleeper player is that João Pedro guy from Brighton. I think
Very solid.
there's a baller in him.
Oh,
He's been a baller since he's been on,
Yeah.
on Watford, man. He's
I know, but
he gets
he's
he gets to show it now.
Yeah.
I think he got a platform, and that kid from Copenhagen, Rooney, I think he really
I'm not
boosted
hit.
his stock from the
Okay.
Champions League. So he's a good player you got to look out for. He's gonna be a young baller coming up.
Let's check him out.
Do you guys think Leao moves this summer?
That's enough.
His stock
I
dropped.
think
That- that's another one that he's good, but I still can't put my finger on it.
Did he do anything?
There's something I just don't like. I just don't know what
He
it
got a
is.
5-year deal. He has 5-year contract with Milan, but it's kind of messed up because what happened with their ownership with the guy, I forget his name, Maldini, one of the Maldinis. When he got kicked out, it just messed up. He was like, he put on social media, he put like he put a face where it was like upset after just getting the contract, and that's the first thing he put. I was like, bro, like this ain't a good look. So he got
No, but I think he definitely doesn't have the same buzz as he did last year.
he fell off.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I still buy him.
I would still buy him too. He's better than Rashford.
Lautaro Martinez is an available player that has done it all in terms of
I feel like he's an imposter, man.
Another one that I think
He's
is
like
a year or
Gonzalo.
two late. He should have left a year or two ago.
Nah, bro.
I don't know.
He's like a Jesus, a Gabriel Jesus. He looks good. You think
That's crazy.
you-
Gabriel Jesus?
I'm
He's
telling you, this guy is an imposter.
He reminds me more of
no
Gonzalo
way.
Higuain. He reminds me of Higuain. Pepe.
Some of the misses Lautaro has had, they're bad. They're bad. I don't know. I've watched Serie A games. Sometimes I'm invested. So, yeah, I've been watching.
Parlays are defended.
I also think a lot of teams are knocking on Leverkusen's door.
Oh yeah. That team
They
is
got some
definitely-
players they're gonna look
Heuer,
different next year.
For sure.
Frimpong, Grimaldo. There's just
Patrick
One-
Schick. I
one
mean,
of
they have a lot of players that might be getting the call up.
Africans are all leaving.
Mhm.
Also, somebody from Madrid is leaving. There's no way they're gonna bring in Mbappe to that squad and not have at least one person sent on loan.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Mudryk is the one that's out, but Adder Goulet, he still looks good. He's been playing.
Get him on loan.
I think Endrick might get loaned out.
Nah, Endrick has to.
Nah, he has to stay there.
Endrick's ready. He's ready now.
Who are you gonna send out
He's a
though?
little funny to me.
Who do you think is the odd man out in that starting lineup?
No, I think that there's
Rodrigo.
enough games.
Chouameni, maybe. I don't know.
It's really it's everybody's good though. Problem is when you look, Rodrigo. When you look at the left wings, like it's all they got 3 left wingers. They have Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo, and I'm just like one of them got to go.
What's Mbappe playing when he gets there?
Striker.
Yeah, I put him up
I
top.
put him up top. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're gonna. They're just gonna put him and Vinny up top, and then Rodrigo can come off the bench. Because Bellingham has to play
Jude behind him.
Yeah, what are they going to do with Bellingham? Yeah,
Nah, he has to play in the
He will
center.
start.
He has to play behind them.
Oh yeah, you can play what's his name on the right. Rodrigo on the right, Vinny on the left, Mbappe up top. What's his name behind him?
Nah.
Rodrigo is a
Behind
big
him.
time. He's a big time player and like big game player.
Yeah,
Like,
big game
I-
player.
I-
So
yeah.
I'll give you that.
you know, so I'm really a fan of him. But this is an unpopular take. I'm gonna give you guys this one. I'm not big on Bellingham. I'm really not that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I'm
he
not.
has a lot of PR.
No, hear me out, right? I think for what he's being asked to do in the team right now, because of those 2 wide players in Vinny and Rodrigo, it gives him a lot of space to operate. But I think if you bring a 9, you stick him in the 10, and he has to play in a tighter space. I don't know if he's going to be that effective for the way Madrid likes to play.
Yep.
So, because at some point in time, there's not enough ball to go around for all these players. And when he gets the ball, is he going to be that guy that makes the right decision to keep the game going? I don't know.
But to your point though, like I mean, if you have Vinny and Mbappe, think about how much space he's gonna have because nobody is gonna want to guard those 2 guys 1-on-1.
But it's
Like-
where the space is going to be for him if you put him in the 10.
Yeah,
This is like perfect example when you're talking about with Vinny, when you're talking about with Mbappe, when you're talking about with Bellingham, all of them, when you look at their Champions League games, have been isolated out, and they can be isolated out with a good, strong like system, a system defense essentially.
Yeah, but
Like, you
not,
can't do
not
one-on-one.
both of them. Not both of. This is different.
I just think. I just
like-
think he wasn't healthy getting to the end. That's what it is. I don't think he's 100%.
I think you guys are underestimating how like electric these 2 guys are. They're about to be on the same team.
I know,
You know
but
that
crazy.
Ego doesn't always help with that.
right back and center back are going to have to double up on one guy, and then the left back and the other center back are going to have to double up on the other guy.
but I feel
So
like
if you're,
that.
if you're telling me Bellingham,
somebody's gonna have to do 1-on-1.
But this
Nah,
is what
nobody's
but what,
doing
But what,
one-on-one.
but what I'm saying to you, I feel like Vinny and Mbappe operate in the same space. You know, if
But
you,
Mbappe
do.
will have to play up top though.
but that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's his worst. He doesn't like playing that position. When he's playing that left wing, when he's with France and he's playing in the super team that he's been playing in for a while now, he's crazy. He goes crazy. When he's
Yeah,
doing
he's-
left wing for PSG, he goes crazy. When he gets in the striker role, he doesn't become ineffective, but he's definitely
He's
not.
less effective.
yeah, but they're not playing with 3 up top. They're playing with 2 up top. That's how they play now, and they play with Bellingham behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So that the,
I
so that
feel
the
like
other
you
3
guys
No, I
should-
agree. I mean, they're
They're both
beating
going
people
left.
at 4-4-2 for the most part.
Yeah, because you need Chouamini in there. You need either Cruz or Modric in there, and then Valverde. I feel like he has to play.
Amazing. He has to.
That's-
So like,
That's what I'm saying. So he's the lungs for the most part. I mean, he's going to do all of the running.
Yeah,
up
the
and
dirty
down.
work. Yeah,
But then you need 2 technical passing players around.
they still have Cruz.
Right,
and
but that's what I'm saying. So where's he playing?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Like
they're-
Bellingham
Because
is-
you added more pace to your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 pacey players, so someone has to be feeding him the ball. I don't know if that's his game. to
Somebody will
constantly-
be left out. That's for
Somebody
sure. I want
has
to
to
see
be
how
left
they
out.
set up.
I'm very interested to see how. Once again,
Yeah.
but Real Madrid, they're going to do what they got to do to win games. So we're
No.
going to know in the first 5 games of the season.
Yeah.
And I know that Ancelotti's like an amazing coach,
Yeah.
but managing a locker room with that many stars, with multiple like high levels,
He's the perfect guy. He's the
Yeah.
perfect guy for that.
he's the
to
guy
be
to do
honest.
that. But
Yeah.
if he doesn't stay for, because they're all young, they can be for 10
Yeah.
years. They could if they really want.
Yeah,
to.
I mean, that's the goal. I mean, I would hope that'd be the goal. All these guys
Yeah.
are solid.
It's so and so it's like for Bellingham though, like when I see he scores, he'll score 3 goals and one of them will be in the 118th minute against Almira. Like no question. But like when you put him in the situation like the Champions League, like where he was playing against us, he was iced out. The game after that, he was
I
iced
bet
out.
you he scores in the final. Score goal or assist in the final. I bet you.
I will not put that lock in. Nope. That's that.
Okay.
That is. I guarantee you, he's gonna have an okay game at best, and it's gonna all be. It's a Vinny show. Vinny has been underappreciated, even though he's been amazing this season. He's the guy that should be getting the Ballon d'Or shouts in Real Madrid. Not now we have Bellingham. I'm like, the guy just got here. He had a really great start of the
No,
season.
I don't think he should get Ballon d'Or, but yeah.
But he should have it more than what Jude has done. Jude hasn't done anything. The last big thing he was in was with BVB against Bayern, and they choked the title. Like that was the last major.
Bro, he's come out. He's come.
He
out
didn't
so
play. He
big
didn't
for
play.
them this
I
year.
mean, Jude caught lightning in a bottle this season in terms
Yeah.
of like, I mean, this is the best. I mean, this is like Haaland-esque almost, in a sense.
Yeah,
of
last
like,
season. Yep.
in terms of impact, immediately coming into the team, new league, and everything like that. So you cannot take that away from him in a sense. But
There were zero expectations for real. I didn't think anybody expected him to do this. We all thought he was going to be good, but not like this.
I agree.
That's fair.
All right, well, let's get into
The
Prediction.
two-man prediction.
Yeah.
Team prediction.
It's funny at the beginning, in spite of everything that's happened, here we are, and Carrie and I are the only ones left to do predictions. So, and I guess Zion and Solo as well too. But I'll go first. I
GRG.
think if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with a bang.
shameless. This man is shameless.
It's favorable.
I'm calling it a GRG. I'm calling it a GRG. We listen, Zion. Put that photo back up of Rodri and Holland.
Oh, you said we were drinking
I'm
too
not
much.
worried about you guys right now.
You said we were drinking too much. Okay.
Yeah. Look at Rodri. That's you talking about uncle. You talking about uncle will show you uncle. No, I think honestly, I just don't think that City have the belly for the FA Cup this year. I think the big one for them was the Premier League. And I think in a one-off game, form goes out the window with United. We're one team that you can't really and even if you do, 2 wins off the bounce.
Quick question: what have you seen that shows that
2 wins in the past 3
that we
games.
don't have the belly for the FA Cup? Like, just tell me a game.
Go back to the photo. 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 Do you think he looks like he was? What were you eating? Jimmy John's? Yeah,
Hey, Rashford was doing that during the season and got fined.
he did. Well, you know him. He's probably there.
MB.
He's probably there. He's probably right behind him.
That's him over the left shoulder.
I would doubt it.
That's him over the left shoulder peeping with the eye.
The niggas looked at each other across the bar. You want to take a shot?
He said, yeah, y'all going up. I'm trying to pull up.
Yeah. Nah, but I think in a one-off game, I think we can get you guys. Hoyland scored. Bruno got some rest. I like it. Sofian Amrabat has actually been looking good. So
Amrabat.
Amrabat, yeah, man. I think that.
Riding game that you're saying this because you talking crazy right now.
No, yeah, I think we're gonna get a dub. FA Cup champions right here.
Score prediction. What is it?
I'm gonna say 2-1. We win in extra time. The magic of the FA Cup. Well, you saw what we did against Coventry. If we got through because we were destined to.
You're
not Coventry,
Wow.
It's the wrong city, bro.
I'm about to be calling you Manchester Coventry,
What? Here's my thing.
the real
If this
Man
was-
City.
If this was another year, I could possibly hear that. But
Yeah.
we have got the double over y'all this year. We're actually the only team that has gotten the double over y'all this year. I think out of the top 6 that y'all have done
Arsenal has to.
the double as well. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I apologize. You know how
Well,
we always get the non-Manchester clubs. Am I right?
Lissandro's back. So
The London
Lissandro's back. So Haaland's gonna have a lot to handle.
And
Why
I-
everybody get
both
dunked
games-
on?
In both games, the only goal you scored against us was that ridiculous Rashford goal in like the 8th minute.
Yeah.
That worldly.
We
No.
had chances. We had chances.
I don't know, man. I think we're upset that we're not in the Champions League final at this point, and so we got to make this next year. I mean, going from treble to a double is way less of an issue than treble to a single, and so we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it, and because why not, really? But
I guarantee you, De Bruyne shows up smelling like alcohol.
Wow.
I guarantee you.
Bro, you really watching all my players. So I'm just gonna say this, bro.
I be following all of them.
Hey,
I saw everyone's IG.
Hey, it's gonna be 3-1. Pep is giving these boys 3 days of rest because these niggas are already ready. It's gonna be 3-1. Y'all gonna sneak some sort of sneaky goal. You're gonna.
Bro.
I think you're gonna score. I think you're gonna score first, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh. And then we're gonna. If you look at a bunch of our results this year, it's always the same shit. We get scored on, and then we come back and we get 2-1, and then we get the third goal in like the 80th minute. So I really think you might catch us on the celebration of hangover. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to take care of business. I don't think Doku looked excellent in this game. I was surprised by that.
We're a club of professionals.
Oh,
professional drinkers.
Professionals.
Jack Grealish is out right now.
Yo,
he's not playing.
Show up.
Yeah,
I'm
so
telling you,
I think you can have Kovacic and Rodri in the midfield, and I'm truly confident. I'm not.
Bro. So perfect example, Aguero when he went to Barcelona.
Yeah.
One of the first things he said was, "It's so weird because at City we showed up an hour and a half before training to get to warm up individually. That was the expectation.
No, you have an institution."
When he went to Barcelona, he said, "I showed up there 30 minutes early and the lights were on." And so that shows the difference in like clubs that have that in them and no. And so I agree with you. Normally, like maybe in another year we're United, but this year it's tough, man, because United really underachieved.
What's crazy is you and Young Trini. No offense, you guys great ball knowledge. Y'all went 30 minutes on your team, and now we're talking about playing against the team that just won the Premier League, and now all of a sudden y'all them boys.
No, I just think
I didn't give a cut.
But let Young Trinity talk. Let Young Trinity talk.
Yeah, man shooting, and he almost missed. Anyhow, but this is what I would say about this game. It all depends to me on who the manager picks for United will determine how this game goes. This is the first time he's had this many players at his disposal. Those who want to stay, those who want to leave, those he's fell out with, or little rifts in the media. So it really depends on who the manager picks. So with that being said, if he picks a decent enough lineup where he has like Varane, Leach at center back, I would say Diallo, we're going to have to play Wan-Bissaka. I think his mid, and he goes for midfield, I would say, of Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, and he's going to play his boy Bruno in the 10. He's going to start there. But this is the controversial 3 lineup here. You got to start that boy Rashi on the left.
Oh my goodness.
Hear me out. No, hear me out. You bring Martial in for his last game of the season in the
wow.
Hear me out, and you put listen, hear me out, and you put
Which
that
Anthony are we talking about?
Two-tone, Tony two-tone.
Tony two-tone in the 9, bro, on his way out. And you put that boy Amad Diallo on the right side. And I think if we sit back and try to hit City on the counter,
you want to get him sacked. You want to get him sacked.
This is what I'm going to say to do. Go for Eric Ten Hag. Do this.
You just started.
Sit back and hit and play this team on the counter. I'm telling you, we're going to snag a goal. City's going to score. I feel like City's going to go up 2. It's going to be 2-1. And I feel like we're going to have a late minute push with the subs that he's going to make. And this game could potentially go to penalties.
Because Martial's not doing it.
That's my shout.
Whoa.
Penalties.
Man, all I'm asking is you guys just give us a game. That's all we're
You
asking.
started by saying it depends on what the
You're
manager
asking
takes.
us to give you a game?
No, United. I'm asking United.
It depends on,
make it
on,
a game.
depends on what the
Oh,
manager
I'm
does.
not
It depends on what the manager does. Run with that lineup, Ten Hag. Go out with a bang, and hopefully we don't ever see you again.
I too agree with Martial.
Okay.
But put some respect on Tony's name. People always, talk about Martial and being lazy. Tony is a baller. There's a player in Anthony Martial. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
He
He was
He's
missing.
not like me for the past 7 years. Yeah. For the past 7 years, here we
I'm
are.
telling you.
2000 Anthony Martial.
And
I understand. I know why you said it. I think
And that guy Luke Shaw has still missed more games than him, but nobody talks
Stop.
about it. But it's
Stop.
crazy.
Stop.
He has.
The Boris Diaw of the group. All right, man. Well, yeah. Do you guys have Real Madrid, Dortmund? Who y'all got quickly?
I was gonna say. I mean, shout out Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Shout out
Madrid.
Ala Madrid.
I see no chance.
Dortmund 1-0.
Wow.
I said it last week. I would love for Dortmund to win, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they got it.
$20 bet on Dortmund. I fucking
Nah,
hate Real Madrid. They don't deserve it this year. They cheated against us, so yeah.
No. 115 charges. Don't forget that.
Yeah, please.
Anyways,
You're going
Before we
Real
leave-
Madrid 2-0.
Before we leave, I
I'm
gotta
going
give my
2-1
shout
Dortmund.
out. I gotta give my shout out to my man Xabi Alonso. 28 wins, 6 draws, 0 losses in the Bundesliga. Invincible season. Man, it's great, man. Team is great. Shout out to them.
He could do an invincible
Invincible
treble.
Europe too, which is
That's crazy.
insane.
Man.
You guys are gonna eat this up, but CBS Sports asked the question. This shit pissed me off. Is this what they did this season better than Manchester City winning 4 in a row?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
You see, I know
The
you.
real question is invincible season versus invincible season.
No, invincible season versus invincible treble. Now
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would say yes, because look, that team was battling relegation last season.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were about to be, playing
Relegated. Yep.
whatever Division 2 of the Bundesliga is.
I think it might just be Bundesliga 2.
Liga 2.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. I've never watched the game.
They don't even care enough to give it a name.
To go undefeated, man.
Yeah, that
Wow.
it's not easy, man. We've
not
seen
Turnaround is
some.
crazy.
Even if you look at some of these Real Madrid teams we've seen recently that were like crazy stacked with Casemiro and all these guys, Ronaldo. Them boys did not do invincible season. So this is impressive. You have to give it to them.
And I mean, I've been watching them from the beginning, but even just in the past, bro, they have so many late winners, late tires.
Yeah.
It's like
What was it, like 16 wins or results coming down, from being down
insane.
to tie the game after like the 90th minute or something like that. It was like 16 games or something like that. It's crazy.
All I gotta say, Manchester City only had 5 losses this year. Our last loss was in December. I mean, we could have done the same thing too.
You're invincible.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, man.
Yeah.
We were one game away from a back-to-back trebles, and if we had done that, then yeah.
One game away.
Yeah, it was the Real Madrid game.
If
It was
Rudiger,
the penalties. That was it.
yeah, Rudiger cheated. So
You lost.
Wow.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
but
one
I'm
game?
saying one game away in the sense that like we were gonna
Now
we have
y'all
won that.
Yeah,
We have
we,
one
we,
against
we could all say we were one game away.
in game
Okay.
Real Madrid had lost.
No,
Man,
they
Your
talked
City
about
fans are becoming spoiled. Y'all
whoever
need to
won
relax.
between Real Madrid and City was going to win the Champions League. That was
Oh,
the
I
favorite.
mean, yeah.
That's what I mean when I say like by the favorite standards, we were the
Yeah.
other
You still were having to go through Bayern. You would
Correct.
still have to play Bayern. Oh, you were
I'm
going to
saying
take off
Kane,
Bayern?
sir. Harry Kane, you seen what he's done to that team. You
Yeah, I feel bad for that man.
You see what Harry
He
Kane
wouldn't even get to play in the.
By the way, if you don't know, I think Bayern's looking at company, which is interesting. A
That's
couple other teams are listening at
I
looking
would
at
love to see
company.
Really? after
Yeah.
Burnley season.
I wouldn't. If I'm a manager, I would stay far away from
Cornelius.
Bayern.
That's crazy.
I would stay far away from Bayern.
Wait, has Germany ever had a black manager?
Hmm.
Or I mean, Bayern. Has Bayern ever had a black manager?
I
No,
don't.
I mean,
think
you
so.
could put that back to
don't
Germany.
You talking about
Has Germany
the
ever had a
national
black
team,
manager?
Germany? Absolutely.
Nah,
Talk about
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
If
we all know
in
during
the
the-
Bundesliga, I don't know if they've had.
Some were saying
Yeah,
Thomas
not-
Tuchel.
All right.
Bayern Munchen. Bayern Munchen hasn't had, bro. That name alone should let you know. Like that, that team don't got
Nah.
no type of. That whole league has never seen a
Nah,
black.
I would stay far away from them. From what they did to Nagelsmann and Tuchel, you
Yeah.
think they'll do you any better? Nah. Let them struggle.
I just wanted to say quickly my shout out, my manager Eric Ten Hag. Got us into the
So I'm
final,
end the
so.
stream, man. I
Yeah.
feel like
Man,
at
it's
this
going-
point you're pulling our finger with this Ten Hag thing. I do
What's that?
not. I truly don't believe you believe in that guy. I truly don't believe you believe in that guy. Because if I look at all the managers you've had, this is the only man you're obsessed with for some reason.
Yeah,
You were never like this with Jose. You were never like this with what's his name?
I was wrong with Jose. I was wrong.
What's his name? Even the Dutch guy. What's his name?
Van Gaal.
Van
You
Gaal.
weren't even like this one, and he won you an FA Cup. This man with the
Should
Carabao.
have kept him.
He got me a Carabao, and in his second year, he's about to win me an FA Cup. He's about to win me an FA Cup.
paying your
FA,
bills, man.
You don't believe
Tactics.
that.
Waste
You don't
man.
believe that.
FA
Tactic.
Cup champions incoming.
Big waste, man. You don't know the thing, though.
Fair enough.
Waste man.
Fair enough. Well, good stuff, man. Good
All right.
episode.
Good episode.
Great
guys.
way to wrap up the season as well, too. So
Facts.
we appreciate all of you guys. Fun season, season 4, 3 seasons actually putting them out to the public, but yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. And next year is gonna be big too. But yeah, that's it for season 3. Good luck to you and your future endeavors.